Under the epic glow of a full moon, a mysterious building chills, its ancient vibe hinting at some serious secrets. But across the land, a massive hunger hits Ling Bao, her mind totally blown by this insane craving. But then, Chen Chang'an's senses go into overdrive, a super weird smell totally grabbing his focus. His eyes blaze with a fierce red glow as he instantly knows what it is, the smell of an eternal body. Ling Bao, totally surrounded by a sick blue aura, is also locked onto that insane smell, pinpointing exactly where it's coming from. Chang'an dives down fast, totally thinking about where he's headed, like, is this even a dungeon? The building below is straight up glowing with a creepy red light, and that intense hunger just screams again. Finally, Chen Chang'an rolls up to the ancient structure, totally hyped to face whatever's lurking inside. Transformed into an eternal body, Li Xiao goes full throttle, unleashing a torrent of dark energy, his crimson eyes blazing with pure malice, screaming about his once blocked powers. His disciples are absolutely stunned, as the narration drops the bomb. He couldn't even cultivate before, but now his power is off the charts. He just smirks and brags, eat me, and you'll become an eternal body too. You are the eternal body. He keeps up the relentless attack, dark energy exploding around him, his voice dripping with pure arrogance, who cares if I can't cultivate? The third elder can't either, so it's all thanks to me. But before he can even finish his trash talk, a blinding, explosive surge of blue energy just detonates, absolutely obliterating Li Xiao's dark attack and sending him flying. Chen Chang'an just stands there, radiating pure power, while Li Xiao's jaw drops in total shock, sputtering, who are you? How are you this strong? The blue aura around him just explodes, a silent, undeniable declaration of his absolute dominance. Li Xiao hits the dirt, totally defeated, his mind blown by the sheer power, weakly mumbling, just kidding, I was just sleeping. He sprawled out in the rubble, his big talk completely gone, replaced by the shocking truth of his opponent's insane power. Pinned down, Chen Chang'an can only watch as Ling Bao, now radiating an ominous power, taunts him, demanding his absolute submission. She leans in, her voice dripping with condescension, mocking his every move. With eyes blazing crimson, she vows to make him regret every single insult, ready to unleash her full, terrifying power. Now fully unleashed, enveloped in a pulsating, dark aura, she stands over him, ready to deliver a beatdown that will send him straight to hell. Seeing his shocked face, she can tell he's still not getting it. A chilling smile spreads across her face as she ups the ante, challenging him to a fight to the death. She slams him back down, her glowing eyes burning into his, hammering home the fact that he's nothing but a weakling compared to her. Her crimson eye flares with raw power as dark energy crackles around her hand, ready to unleash absolute devastation. But just as the tension peaks, a terrifying, shadowy ghost with glowing green eyes materializes from the void, watching. He's absolutely floored, staring wide-eyed at the shadowy entity that just materialized. Then, a chilling voice cuts through the air, proclaiming it's seen souls it can't touch, demanding he stay back, and taunting him about becoming its next vessel. But before he can even process that, Ling Bao, blazing with a furious red aura, attacks again, screaming for the eternal body. Her attack lands with a sickening crunch, ripping into his back and forcing a choked cry from him. Collapsing to the ground, a chilling thought flashes through his mind, is this really it? Am I dying again? Just then, a system alert blares in his vision, screaming about a new hostile entity and demanding he be careful. The warning flashes again and again, hammering home the sheer danger of this new threat, its presence now impossible to ignore. But even with his wounds, a raw surge of power ignites within him, his fist crackling with pure energy, ready to unleash hell. With a primal scream, he unleashes a devastating counterattack, blasting Ling Bao back in pure shock and agony. Wounded but unyielding, Chen Chang'an unleashes a furious challenge, daring his foe to show her full power, even as he screams for her to back off. But Ling Bao, eyes blazing crimson, just grins, mocking his defiance and questioning if he can even survive her next move. Then, with a chilling declaration to seize his eternal body, she charges, a pink blur of pure aggression. His eyes snap wide in disbelief. But then, a blinding, golden explosion erupts from him, blasting her back with raw, unbridled power. She's violently hurled backward. As a barrage of crimson energy slashes follow, cutting her down. She crashes down, defeated, the crushing reality of her loss undeniable. Bruised but absolutely triumphant, he lets out a roar of victory. After his epic victory, Chang'an is feeling it. The days of running are officially done. But just when he thought he was out, his system pulls him back in, flashing a warning, a new, A-rank hostile entity, threat level S. What? He's absolutely fuming. Why do other players get to chill and live the good life, while he's stuck being cannon fodder because of his body? He pictures them swimming in gold, dreaming of ruling entire continents, while he's just trying to survive. Then, his system drops another bombshell, he hasn't even figured out how to retain the field, yet. He screams that this system is totally unfair. No core experience. Even if he beats this thing, it'll just come back. He's so tired, he's not even sure he can explore this new threat before he collapses. A deep groan rips through the darkness, then a heavy thud. Completely spent, Chang'an crashes to the ground, his body finally giving up, the system screen still mocking him above. Looking up from the depths of the dark cave, a tiny light shines, a beacon in the massive, unexplored field he's trapped in. Suddenly, the sky explodes in a blinding, electric blue, ripping apart the heavens with an earth-shattering crackle. Below, a monstrous demon and a panicked elder stare up in pure terror, freaking out about what just shattered the sky and if some legendary treasure just crashed down. The blue blast just keeps growing, its raw power shaking everything, and Chang'an is just barely visible, caught in the distant chaos. Chang'an can only gape, totally lost in the madness, as a gleaming golden sword plunges from the sky, cutting through all the chaos. Way up in the sky, beyond the clouds, was the legendary upper world Xuanwu immortal realm. A mind-blowing place with floating palaces and ancient towers that just shot into the sky. Every single one just blasting out insane spiritual energy. Then, out of nowhere, a massive, golden energy fist just ripped through the peaceful sky, smashing into one of the realm's epic pagodas with insane power. As a golden, sword-like construct burst from the impact, and someone yelled, "Damn it." The voice confirmed it was the holy immortal sword of our lord, and the pagoda just started to fall apart under the brutal attack. Leaving Chang'an to stare at the chaos, his eyes burning with fierce determination. He stares down the destruction, a burning resolve in his eyes. These immortal emperors. Get out of here. The floating city is getting absolutely wrecked, with vibrant energy tearing through the heavens, the Xuanwu immortal realm is under full-scale attack. Shadowy figures with glowing eyes rain down from above, screaming, "Let's begin to kill them all." Chang'an sees a blue energy phantom join the battle, and he shouts back, "See you, immortals." More attackers flood the realm, and he screams again, realizing the high and mighty, immortal emperors are getting wiped out like chickens. His eye flares with pure, unadulterated vengeance, swearing to annihilate them all, even if he has to unleash the holy immortal sword. Across the battlefield, Li Zhao's crimson eyes blaze, and he snarls, "Anyone who has a conflict. Kill it." The floating city is still getting torn apart, and a victorious, "Yes," rings out amidst the chaos. Amidst the shattered earth and debris, a lone hand lies still, a grim reminder of the carnage. He's had enough. Chang'an is absolutely fed up, his frustration boiling over as he curses his own body for making him a lamb to the slaughter. But then, a chilling thought crosses his mind, what if he just devoured a soul to fill his belly? A crackle of power erupts as he screams, he's not even hungry enough to clear the first level. It feels like he's going backward. From a breathtaking height, he spots a grand temple, filled with untold treasures, a place notoriously hard to enter. But tonight, a feast awaits, and he's crashing the party. He lets out a frustrated sigh, asking himself, what is the problem? There's no time for doubt, he needs a solution now. His eyes narrow, a dangerous idea sparking, what about the invincible demon in the holy place? Suddenly, a blinding golden aura explodes around him, radiating raw, untamed power. But then, from the depths of the shadows, a terrifying, spectral entity with piercing green eyes materializes, its form shifting and menacing. But Chang'an, now blazing with golden power, doesn't flinch. He immediately barks a command, "Retreat." He's suddenly in a new, golden-lit zone, scanning the cold, empty field for hidden dangers. But wait, the walls here are splattered with blood. A terrifying thought hits him, how could his invincible domain have such a massive bug? He's absolutely furious, raging about his cursed physique that makes him a target, while other traversers get to live it up. But then, a fierce resolve ignites in his eyes, a silent vow. Elsewhere, Ling Bao is free-falling through a blinding golden light, completely out of control. Her face contorts in pure terror as she spots him, the terrifying great elder of the evil dragon cavern, Li Xiao. He snarls, his voice laced with venom, daring her to even think about running away. And in the deepest shadows, a pair of sinister red eyes glow, revealing the lurking ghost figure. Ling Bao recoils from an unseen threat, but then, her expression hardens into defiant resolve. Chang'an is absolutely fuming, questioning why he's always stuck with the short end of the stick while others get to live it up. Tears well up in his eyes as he cries out, wondering why everyone else gets to thrive while his body just sets him up for failure. But the drama isn't over. Ling Bao is caught off guard, staring down at someone who's totally calling her out, asking what a immortal is even doing in this place. Hold up. Just as things are about to go down, Chang'an swoops in, totally cutting off the conversation, trying to play it cool and say he didn't mean to butt in. But don't let the politeness fool you. Chang'an's eyes blaze with power as he lays down the law, telling them straight up that they're on his territory and they better get lost, or things are gonna get messy. Ling Bao is absolutely stunned and furious by the audacity, demanding to know if this guy wants to die, because her mana is practically begging for a fight right now. With a furious "Kaya," she unleashes a direct hit right into Li Zhao's rock-hard abs. But Li Xiao barely flinches, instantly unleashing a terrifying blue dragon aura, roaring back, "You'll be reborn as a beast, so watch your mouth next time." The sheer power of the blue dragon energy explodes, absolutely dominating the space with its raw, destructive might. The tension is palpable as Chen Chang'an unleashes his power, a blinding blue aura erupting around him, radiating immense energy. With a powerful surge, he unleashes a concentrated blast of that incredible blue energy. But Ling Bao isn't backing down from Li Xiao, boldly challenging him, demanding to know if he seriously thinks he can just run wild. Li Xiao's face twists into a furious snarl, his temper flaring as he can't believe this kid is actually talking back to him. Then, Chen Chang'an steps up, pointing directly at the furious Li Xiao, and coolly tells him not to get it twisted, he's not someone to mess with. But that warning just sends Li Xiao into a full-blown rage, his eyes burning crimson as a terrifying dark aura explodes around him, roaring that he doesn't care who anyone is. The crimson energy consumes him entirely, morphing him into a terrifying, hulking beast as he promises to make them regret everything. With a primal roar, the berserk Li Xiao charges, a crimson blur of pure, unadulterated fury. The tension explodes, and Chen Chang'an just calmly steps up, radiating an insane blue energy that screams, "I'm about to end this." Then, with a flick of his wrist, a wicked red energy flares around his hand, showing off the sheer, raw power he's packing. Meanwhile, Ling Bao is totally freaking out, eyes bugging at the power, and some other dude behind her just screams in shock. But Chang'an? He's just chilling, casually flicking a glowing finger, basically saying, "You're not even worth my time." Ling Bao's jaw drops, totally blown away by how effortlessly he's flexing his power. But that other guy? He's absolutely livid, screaming his head off at Chang'an's sheer disrespect. Chang'an just smirks, like he knew exactly how that guy would react. Before the dude can even blink, Chang'an is on him, grabbing him by the neck and hoisting him up like he weighs nothing. As he holds the guy dangling, a system alert pops up, screaming about a dimensional rift and the evil dragon cavern, and Chang'an just casually drops a line about the dude's next life. The system just dropped some serious intel, a dimensional rift, the terrifying evil dragon cavern, and the power to expand his invincible domain. He can't help but let out a triumphant, "Oh yeah, finally," as the new abilities flood his senses. He's already standing over a completely wrecked opponent, and Ling Bao is just staring, totally blown away, muttering about whether this guy is actually a god or something. But he's already moved on, thinking about his storage ring, only to realize he can't even open the thing without a cultivation base. He just plops down on the unconscious guy, like he's a comfy armchair. Ling Bao, still reeling from everything, shouts out to him, her face a total mix of shock and pure relief. She's practically gushing with thanks, telling him he totally saved her life. She then drops a bombshell, explaining that without him, she would have been dragged off to the dreaded evil dragon cavern. Ling Bao stares intently, her face a picture of sincerity, as he vents his frustration over the useless storage ring, trapped by his lack of cultivation. He brandishes the golden ring, a relic of power he can't even touch, declaring it utterly worthless to him right now. But she's got a solution, offering to help him unlock his true potential, a proposition he ponders with a knowing smirk. The world outside settles into a tranquil night, a stark contrast to the brewing ambition within. Then, a sudden shout from Ling Bao. "Look! A lucky chicken," as Chen Chang'an snatches up a mysterious, round object. His mind races, envisioning a future of boundless power, an ever-expanding domain, and maybe, just maybe, a harem of wives. Without warning, Ling Bao drops to her knees, a fierce resolve burning in her eyes, pledging her absolute devotion. She stays there, a silent testament to her loyalty. Yet, Chen Chang'an is utterly lost in his own world, happily devouring the lucky chicken, completely missing the gravity of her oath. Blushing furiously, Ling Bao locks eyes with him, proclaiming, "Senior saved my life. That means we're destined." So. Then, dropping to her knees with an intense plea, she asks, "Can you accept me as my master?" His eyes practically pop out of his head, completely blindsided as her voice echoes, "Senior, I am super capable." Chen Chang'an is absolutely fuming, screaming about how unfair it is that other traversers get to live it up while his weak physique dooms him to be a sacrificial lamb. But Ling Bao is quick to point out that she just saved his butt, so he better accept her as his master. Still stuck in his pity party, Chen Chang'an can't believe it, asking if she's just messing with him. He lays it all out, his physique is so trash he can't even eat or drink without dying, pleading with her to just let him go. But Ling Bao isn't backing down, declaring herself the great elder of the evil dragon cavern, and she's got the power to fix his problems. She presses him, asking if he really wants to be a total loser, or if he wants to become an absolute powerhouse cultivator. With a newfound resolve, Chen Chang'an finally gives in, realizing that if he aces her test, he'll officially become a disciple of the old man. A sly smile spreads across Ling Bao's face, her eyes practically glowing with triumph. Totally hyped and ready to level up, Ling Bao is absolutely buzzing, knowing her master's training is about to make her OP. But wait, Chen Chang'an just got a system notification, scoring a sweet 100 field value for being Ling Bao's master. Talk about a bonus. He's feeling the power surge, his mana going wild thanks to his new disciple, and she's totally hyping him up, telling him he's crushing it. He jokingly asks for some guidance himself, but she's quick to remind him who's the master and who's the disciple here. He looks totally baffled, like he completely forgot who was in charge for a second there. Out of nowhere, Ling Bao is hanging upside down, right over a super creepy, dark pit. Then, the rope breaks, and she's free-falling into the darkness, with a mysterious blue symbol flashing at the pit's edge. She hits the bottom, surrounded by shadowy power, her eyes blazing with an eerie pink glow. Trapped. The shadowy entity pulsed with malevolent green eyes, completely engulfing Ling Bao in pure terror. Chang'an saw it all, his mind racing, and the chilling truth hit him, this was bad. The shadowy energy exploded around her, turning Ling Bao's eyes a shocking pink. She cried out, her voice laced with dark power, revealing the succubus' evil was beyond anything her master had seen. Chang'an's face went from shock to a knowing grin, instantly recognizing the legendary demon Golden Core. This wasn't just simple evil, this was a game-changer. Time for some serious training. He remembered another time, another power, a Golden Core Tiger Demon. Its insane aura had practically pulled him in. The colossal tiger demon, with eyes that could melt steel, had once cried out in despair, a pathetic meow, escaping its monstrous maw. Chang'an had wanted to bail on the sleeping giant, but the scent. Oh, the delicious, irresistible scent was driving him wild. He eyed the Golden Core Tiger Demon, thinking, can I absorb this power? The tiger demon twitched, its mind screaming, fragrant. I can't take it anymore. The flashback hits, revealing the sheer, unbridled power of a Golden Core Tiger Demon, its massive limb absolutely radiating with a fierce blue energy. The ground beneath its powerful stance cracks and glows with that same intense azure, a clear sign of the insane force it's throwing down. Towering over Chen Chang'an and a terrified Ling Bao, the demon lets out a massive roar, declaring their fate sealed, but Chen Chang'an, despite the danger, is just thinking about how delicious it looks. Its eyes burning with red energy, the Golden Core Tiger Demon snarls, vowing to finish them with one blow and screaming its primal desire to devour. But then, in the blink of an eye, the massive creature is inexplicably falling, its body twisted in confusion as it wonders why its attack just got shut down. Now lying defeated, a massive, glowing yellow-orange aura blasts from its subdued form, its thoughts still stuck on wanting to eat people. Chen Chang'an holds a relieved Ling Bao, who's totally hyping up his mastery, and he promises her she'll get her fill, which gets a huge "yay" from the young girl. Back in the present, Ling Bao stands before Chen Chang'an, her eyes blazing a vibrant pink, a powerful purple aura swirling around her as the shadowy ghost figure looms right behind her. Her hand glows with that same potent purple energy, confirming that refining the master's golden core is the only way she'll truly hold her own. The flashback continues, and a young girl's gaze shoots upward, a desperate cry of "Master," escaping her lips. But Chen Chang'an is already there, holding her tight, a massive bear-like beast roaring behind them, and a chilling voice commands him to surrender his blade. Unfazed, Chen Chang'an steps forward, ready to clash with the monstrous Golden Core Tiger Demon, a silent, almost arrogant confidence radiating from him. Then, a blinding blue aura explodes around him, and he's a blur of motion, striking with impossible speed. He plunges down, sword flashing, a lethal strike aimed directly at the beast. The strike is over in an instant, the Golden Core Tiger Demon utterly annihilated with just one devastating slash. Ling Bao's jaw drops, utterly stunned, whispering in awe at how easily the mighty demon was obliterated. Then, a holographic system message blazes into view, declaring that enough power has been gathered to upgrade the invincible human system. A soft giggle escapes Ling Bao, her eyes shining with renewed awe, as she fully grasps the sheer, overwhelming power of her master. Chen Chang'an stares down the system's prompt, wondering what insane power a golden core could unleash. But before he can dive deeper, Ling Bao pops in, dropping a crucial reminder about the Golden Core Tiger Whip, telling him not to lose it. He just brushes her off with a quick, yeah, I know. Back to the system, a new message flashes, the host has naturally recognized its upgrade to version 2.0. Without hesitation, he hits upgrade. The system whirs to life, flashing, system is being upgraded. Please wait. Then, with a triumphant, OMG, the screen blazes, upgrade successful. He's hyped, ready to unleash the awesome power of version 2.0. Chen Chang'an's eyes blaze with electric blue energy as he shouts his ambition for an ultimate physique, leaving Ling Bao utterly stunned. With her tiny blade drawn, Ling Bao shouts to her master, ready to jump into action. Then, Chen Chang'an unleashes a torrent of raw power, a blinding blue aura exploding from his palms, mesmerizing the awestruck Ling Bao. But the power is too much. Ling Bao screams, her eyes burning red as a terrifying crimson aura engulfs her. Noticing her agony, he shoves her back, commanding her to get away. Crisis averted, for now, he holds up a shimmering blue orb, its glow captivating Ling Bao's attention. Under the cloak of night, Chen Chang'an meditates, the blue orb still radiating power, while a mysterious ghost figure watches his every move from the shadows. Ling Bao is suddenly engulfed in a vibrant green aura, letting out a startled cry. Beside Chen Chang'an, she shouts, "Transform." "Master," it transformed, while he just coolly holds a glowing orb. She playfully scolds him, "Why are you always scaring me?" And he just gives a casual, dismissive, A powerful narration box declares he's giving her a brand new physique, unlocking the legendary, eternal body, for her cultivation. Absolutely ecstatic, Ling Bao grins, "Thank you master. I will definitely repay my debt to you," and instantly pledges to call him master from this moment forward. Now enveloped in a soft pink aura, a narration box hypes up her master, who can literally change her entire physique with just a wave of his hand. Suspended in a dazzling golden glow, she declares, "I will become stronger," her resolve burning brighter than ever. Meanwhile, Chen Chang'an checks out a system window, revealing physique, eternal body, initial stage, talent, top grade, limit, and he can't help but wonder about that limit. With Ling Bao still radiating a soft pink glow, he glances at her and asks himself, "Is this okay?" The system just dropped the ultimate confirmation. Ling Bao's got the eternal body and the top grade, limit, talent. This is next level power, folks. Chen Chang'an's mind is already racing, processing the sheer power she's unlocked, and the crowd around them is absolutely losing it, buzzing with excitement over her insane new talent. His eyes narrow, a calculating intensity in his stare, as he plots out the next big move for his protégé. Ling Bao is absolutely glowing, a powerful purple aura exploding around her, her face alight with pure, unadulterated power and fierce resolve. She spins to face Chen Chang'an, her voice practically bursting with thanks, vowing to train like crazy and make him proud. Under the epic moonlight, she boldly declares her mission to get even stronger, and he just gives her that cool, calm nod of approval, telling her to keep pushing. Out of nowhere, a legendary sword just pops into his hand, its ancient vibes screaming raw, untamed power. Ling Bao's jaw drops at the sight of this insane blade, while Chen Chang'an just coolly offers it up. He asks if she's digging it, then just drops the bomb, "It's all yours." Ling Bao is absolutely floored by the ancient sword, practically screaming her thanks to her master, but Chen Chang'an just hits her with a casual, "tch" like it's no big deal. Suddenly, a massive aura explodes from her, sending her floating into the air, and she can barely handle the insane power surging from the sword. She's still totally blown away by the sword's raw power, gushing about its incredible force and trying to figure out what this insane weapon is called, all while praising her master's generosity. Holding the legendary blade, she's completely overcome with emotion, absolutely touched by this incredible, powerful present. Just as he's about to bounce, Chen Chang'an drops another bombshell, promising her an absolutely top-tier teacher. Check out this epic, ancient-looking palace, just chilling in a super peaceful, green landscape, it's practically screaming, hidden power. Catching up later, Ling Bao totally praises her master's amazing judgment when it comes to people, and he just plays it cool with an, okay. Like it's nothing. Then, he drops the bomb about the glowing thing he's holding, spilling the tea that this little trinket was actually a sword spirit he personally forged into a real sword. The golden core realm is breached. A hulking, muscular figure crashes down, his signature yellow boot announcing his arrival to the stunned cultivators below. Towering over all, immortal Emperor Ba Su makes his grand entrance, challenging anyone to step forward and face his might. But elsewhere, Chen Chang'an shields Ling Bao, as a frantic voice screams about Li Zhao's massacre at the evil dragon cavern, wondering how such a powerful figure could fall to Elder Set. Back at the scene, Ba Su scans the golden core realm, his eyes gleaming with greed as he senses the immense treasure hidden within its compact space. Meanwhile, Elder Set watches with a sinister grin, the shocking truth dawning on him, the golden core treasure is actually the legendary golden core of immortal Emperor Ba Su. And from the chilling ghost bone realm, Chiu Guanyu, with his haunting green glow, joins the observation, surrounded by his spectral legion. Back to Ba Su, his eyes locked on the prize, he vows to seize the golden core realm's treasure, but not before eliminating whoever stands in his way. From a hidden rooftop perch, Chen Chang'an watches, alone, silent force observing the chaos below. Elder Set's jaw drops in pure disbelief, witnessing spirit weapons morphing into spirit beasts. He screams, "This is the true transformation technique. It's mine." A monstrous spirit beast, all glowing eyes and razor talons, rips through the air, forcing Li Xiao to unleash a furious, sarcastic roar against the evil Ghost Bones sect. His fist clenches, raw power sparking around him as he recalls crushing enemies far beyond his initial rank, then unleashes a primal scream, he's not just a man anymore, he's a demon. Elsewhere, in a realm of pure shadow, the enigmatic ghost figure, Chiu Guanyu, his eyes burning crimson, drops a cold, hard truth, if you're not going to fight, then don't even bother. Under the open sky, Li Xiao's face twists into a snarl of pure defiance, his voice booming, screaming, "You think I'm scared? Let's fight." High above, watching the whole spectacle unfold, Chen Chang'an simply starts, a single word hanging in the air. With Ling Baoer beside him, he just glances down, utterly unimpressed by the demon's bravado, coolly stating that it's not fear, but pure insignificance that makes him ignore it. And with a subtle smirk, he delivers the final, cutting blow, not exactly open-hearted, is it? Immortal Emperor Ba Su's eyes snap open, a shocking realization hitting him like a truck. This traverser is the Immortal Emperor's disciple. He lets out a booming laugh, proclaiming that the Immortal Emperor's heir is now his disciple, whether they like it or not. He's immortal, after all. Down below, Chen Chang'an stares up at the colossal figure, as the mysterious ghost figure watches the whole scene unfold. The Immortal Emperor keeps on talking, his voice dripping with pure, unadulterated power. His eyes blaze with raw power, confirming his read on the situation and its immense value, but he can't help but notice they're still outside the invincible domain. Elsewhere, Ling Bao is absolutely fuming, yelling about why her ally is just standing there instead of helping Chen Chang'an. What if he dies? Ba Su then zeroes in on Chen Chang'an, grilling him about how he was defeated and if it was by pure spiritual power cultivation. Chen Chang'an lets out a cough, shaking off his pain, as Ba Su throws down the gauntlet, demanding to know his next move. Ling Baoer, meanwhile, is absolutely terrified. Immortal Emperor Ba Su, floating high above, flexes his power, proclaiming his cultivation is so next level, nothing can even scratch him. His invincible domain is his ultimate shield. With a golden aura blazing, he totally writes off the protagonist as just some humble mortal. His eyes narrow, demanding to know what went down to make him look so weak now, especially after how strong he was before. He pushes harder, bringing up how the kid just casually took out Li Xiao, a feat even the Immortal Emperor himself couldn't pull off in the evil dragon cave. He needs answers, now. A sly grin spreads across his face as Chen Chang'an coolly states everything's fine, then snaps back, asking who this guy thinks he is to talk to his master like that. Close by, Ling Baoer screams in pure panic, her terror radiating as someone calls out her name. Ba Su spots her, then casually drops that his master's invincible domain is the only thing that can touch him. He points at Chen Chang'an, announcing that this guy is different, the only one who can actually shatter his invincible domain. Ling Baoer's mind is reeling, as she realizes without her master, her golden core realm wouldn't stand a chance, and she'd be forced to use him as a human shield. Suddenly, a maelstrom of purple and pink energy exploded around Chen Chang'an, trapping him amidst shadowy figures as a voice roared, "Hey, you wanna die?" From the heavens, Immortal Emperor Ba Su, cloaked in a menacing dark aura, stared down, his power asserting absolute dominion over everything, while Chen Chang'an stood defiant within his shimmering blue shield. A shockwave of agony hit Chen Chang'an as his blood mana and cultivation were ripped from him, a desperate, guttural "no" tearing from his throat. What was happening? He realized the Immortal Emperor's power was so god-tier, he could erase someone's entire cultivation with just a thought, leaving Chen Chang'an exposed to the terrifying shadow above. Then, a flash of memory. The cultivation ladder, from the basic chi refining, through foundation building, golden core, and nascent soul. And beyond that, the legendary realms, Earth Immortal, Heavenly Immortal, and the ultimate unknown. Meanwhile, a terrified Ling Baoer screamed at her master, "You can't beat Immortal Emperor Ba Su. He's too strong. We'll be crushed. Run." Across the void, Elder Set, his masked face a picture of fury, fumed about Chen Chang'an's audacity, a mere hustler with zero cultivation who somehow, impossibly, annihilated Li Xiao's cultivation base. Chen Chang'an strode forward, radiating an almost casual confidence, while Ba Su watched from below, both seemingly unfazed by the sheer power of the nascent soul realm. Ba Su is absolutely furious, practically spitting fire, claiming his foe is just pretending to be weak, but is actually a nascent soul powerhouse. But our heroes aren't even fazed, totally brushing off his trash talk like it's nothing. Then, with a surge of pure loyalty, Ling Baoer steps up, ready to absolutely wreck anyone who messes with her master. She unleashes a devastating mana blast, hitting Ba Su hard and leaving him totally confused as his power starts to glitch. Suddenly, a purple aura engulfs him, and he's absolutely floored, his cultivation is being drained right out of him. Ling Baoer doesn't let up, unleashing a lightning-fast, glowing sword strike, her blade tearing through the air straight for the stunned emperor. The attack lands with an explosive impact, leaving Ba Su absolutely speechless at the sheer power. His face twists in pure agony and disbelief, as the full force of the attack slams into him. Boom! Her sword just absolutely decimates the Immortal Emperor, sending him flying. He screams in pure rage, his cultivation getting sucked dry. He's launched into the sky, a mere plaything against her might, while her master just watches the show. He can barely process what just happened, but she's already yelling, promising to make him pay for messing with her master. This girl is a total monster. His face twists in pure pain, and it hits him, she's not just attacking, she's trying to jack his sex sword art. The audacity. His face is a mask of pure agony, the cultivation drain hitting him hard. Chang'an, totally bewildered, asks what just went down, and she just shrugs it off, telling him not to be so shocked, she's just a little girl. Ba Su is completely broken, crying out that he's going to die, and all his treasures, his women, his powerful crew, gone. But Bauer doesn't care about his sob story, she just acknowledges his power, then, with a grin, asks if he wants to cut a few more times. She tells her master not to be shocked, because she's just that good at this. The onslaught rages on, Ling Bauer blasts forth, challenging her foe's very resolve. Her power sends them flying, cultivators plummet from the heavens, screaming in terror. Watching it all unfold, Chen Chang'an gets the update, Ling Bauer just wiped out 3 golden core cultivators, racking up a massive 1500 field value. Then, another alert pops up, his invincible domain is now 22 meters wide. Keep up the good work, system says. Ling Bauer, ever the eager one, glances up at her master, asking what to do with the rest of the sect, as the trapped cultivators below panic, unable to break free. With a terrifying grin, she proposes a plan, chop them all up, steal their secret sword art, refine their souls, and turn them into her personal slaves. She finds it all so fun. Meanwhile, Elder Set, looking utterly horrified, can only watch, desperately telling the cultivators to hold it together and not spit blood. He hacks up blood, a violent cough racking his body, the realization hitting him hard, someone incredibly powerful must be behind Ling Bauer for her to wield such terrifying influence. Her chilling words echo in his mind, and he can't fathom why these cultivators are still resisting. Just give up your fortune to the genius and save yourselves, he pleads. Still reeling from the sheer, unadulterated power, the elder can only watch in horror as the cultivators below are absolutely decimated, their futile resistance baffling him. Meanwhile, from his VIP seat above the carnage, Chen Chang'an watches the whole thing unfold with a chillingly satisfied smirk, clearly loving every second. A casual cough escapes him as he thinks, he totally didn't expect to rake in so much field value from these overwhelming sword sect cultivators. His eyes narrow, a subtle power sparking in his hand, as he fully grasps just how utterly finished these cultivators are. Down below, Ling Bao is absolutely going off, unleashing a devastating, glowing energy blast that takes out multiple cultivators at once. With another brutal hit, she sends a cultivator soaring, the overwhelming sword sect's resistance is just a joke against her raw power. Suddenly, a system notification pops up for Chen Chang'an, confirming a massive 450 field value gain. Ling Bauer lands one last, brutal hit, but then the shocking truth drops, the Ghost Bone Realm leader actually got away. Spinning around to her master, Ling Bao urgently asks, worried that if he escapes, he'll bring a whole squad of treasure hunters down on them, and she needs to know what to do next. A sly grin spreads across his face as he retorts, oh yeah? What are we gonna do if they don't show up in droves? The Ghost Bones sect, a colossal, ancient fortress, absolutely throbs with an ominous purple energy, its spires clawing at a swirling vortex of raw power. Inside, a masked figure in purple robe scoffs, utterly convinced a mere traverser is no match for his power. Meanwhile, the cloaked traverser is absolutely reeling, questioning his very presence here, as the ancient emperor's lies about his weak mana unravel, revealing him as the last of his kind. The masked ancestor suddenly feels a profound shift, a colossal presence beginning to manifest. The Ghost Bones sect absolutely erupts with intensifying purple energy, signaling the arrival of this formidable force. The ancestor stares down at a glowing purple orb, confirming the entity's arrival. Absolutely overwhelmed, the traverser recoils in sheer terror from the terrible aura emanating from the unfolding event. The ancestor watches, declaring the protagonist persona, the traverser, is mere minutes from reaching the next realm, destined to become the ancient emperor and traverse the world. The Ghost Bones sect was practically vibrating with dark energy, and the ancestor, cloaked in shadow and radiating an insane purple glow, was not holding back, screaming that his power would literally obliterate everything if he wasn't in charge. But then, even the ancestor, with all his terrifying power, felt a shock. A sudden, unexpected jolt, making him question what was happening, what could possibly be strong enough to catch him off guard. Suddenly, foreshadowy, menacing figures appeared behind him, as the ancestor, with a chilling declaration, revealed he wasn't the top dog after all, but merely a servant, at the command of his emperor. Across realms, in a lavish, ancient hall, the immortal Emperor Ba Su, with a gaze that could freeze mountains, laid out his master plan, revealing his own imprisonment and the absolute necessity of capturing the Traverser, his ultimate, long-awaited sacrifice. A surge of raw power erupted from him, his eyes blazing, as he roared, demanding to know who was foolish enough to challenge him. His mind, however, was already elsewhere, a single, powerful name resonating within him, the Immortal Temple. And there it was, piercing the heavens, glowing with ethereal light, the legendary Immortal Temple, a fortress of untold power and secrets. Meanwhile, our hero, Chen Chang'an, looked absolutely spent, his silver hair a mess, his face screaming exhaustion, while Ling Bao watched him with worried eyes, as he admitted he was completely broken, utterly done with the endless torment of being a traverser. He remembered a time when his powers first ignited, making him invincible, able to command worlds and dimensions, and see things no one else could, a stark, brutal contrast to the crushing despair he felt now. He's absolutely fuming, screaming about how unfair it is that other traversers get to live it up, but he's just a lamb to the slaughter because of his weak body. But while he's having a meltdown, Ling Bao is just chilling, holding this adorable little blue fluff ball, totally distracted by her own fashion woes, wondering why she can't just upgrade her outfit. He's still boiling with rage, convinced his current body is just holding him back from reaching the next epic stage. Then, she looks up at him, all serious, telling him she's his, ready to follow him anywhere. He grabs her hand, a fierce look in his eyes, seeing past her small size to the raw power within. His face hardens with resolve as he stares into the distance, thinking, if there's even a chance to reach the heavens, I'm taking it. But back to Ling Bao, she's absolutely beet red, hit by a massive surge of energy. This cultivation is seriously intense, painful, but oh so powerful. Her mind is blown, reeling from the shocking revelation of dual cultivation. It's all too much, too fast. She's still bright red, thinking about how crazy fast she's leveling up, but is this insane progress even a good sign? The spiritual connection ignited, and she was hit with an energy surge, a totally wild sensation she'd never felt. Her master, picking up on her nerves, calmly told her to chill out, not to be scared, and just go with the flow. But a tiny doubt crept in, was this crazy method even real, or just some trick? But then, pure fire lit up inside her, and with a massive energy burst, she screamed, I'm ready. She pushed her master to go for it, and he promised to find his spirit, reminding her of their ultimate mission, getting back to the spirit world. Then, it hit her like a lightning bolt, this was dual cultivation. A forbidden, ancient art. She stared at her master, totally freaking out and amazed at the same time. The energy was insane, a wild mix of pain and pure bliss, making her gasp and squirm as it ripped through her body. Blasted with a blinding, swirling aura of blue and pink energy, master and disciple shot upwards, their bodies a blur as they rocketed higher. They landed, and her master coughed a little, but she was still buzzing, staring up at him with wide eyes, totally wondering what the heck they just pulled off. Still reeling from the profound experience, Ling Bao considers Chen Chang'an's question, a soft bow. Escaping her lips. Meanwhile, Chen Chang'an feels his own internal defenses begin to crack, the surging blue energy threatening to overwhelm him. Ling Bao, enveloped in a vibrant pink aura, gasps at the sheer speed of the energy's flow, finding it almost impossible to keep up. Despite being at the 6th level of foundation building, she feels the strain, but her resolve hardens as she vows to try even harder. Their hands remain clasped, the conduit for the immense power flowing between them. A sharp jolt of energy makes her cry out, her mind racing to comprehend the overwhelming sensation. The intensity builds, her body reacting with a flush as the cultivation reaches a fever pitch. She is completely engulfed in a swirling vortex of pink and blue energy, the raw power coursing through her. The energy permeates every part of her being, from her core to her very extremities. She screams, her body on the verge of exploding as the dual cultivation energy goes absolutely wild. Even he's at his breaking point, gritting his teeth and screaming that he can't handle it, but Bauer's still glowing with an insane, overwhelming force, her body literally about to explode from the raw energy. Ling Bauer is absolutely losing it, screaming her head off, surrounded by a wild pink aura. She's not going down like this, not after everything, not because of some annoying old man. Then, a terrifying thought hits her like a truck, she's going to die. But wait, a shocking question immediately follows. With tears streaming, she doubles down on her refusal, screaming that she can't die, not when she's still so weak, not when she hasn't gotten stronger. And Chen Chang'an is right there, looking seriously worried. Her determination explodes, and that pink energy goes absolutely wild, turning into a raging red storm as she unleashes another primal scream, a total rejection of death. She's plummeting, but her eyes are blazing with pure defiance, there's no way she's dying, not when her revenge is still waiting. Then, the pink energy twists into a terrifying black vortex, sparking with wild lightning as she lets out a furious roar. How in the world can she die in this place? She's still falling, but now she's a beacon of unstable pink and red energy, with lightning bolts exploding all around her as she hurtles towards the structures below. The very air is buzzing with insane, uncontrolled power, the sound of raw electricity is deafening. Ling Bauer's power exploded, and a voice boomed, "Do you think I'm blind?" The sheer force was undeniable. But Chen Chang'an, far from the immediate blast, was already processing the implications. He cradled the now unconscious Ling Bauer, her body scorching hot, a literal inferno from within. What would he do? His face contorted in pure determination, he swore to crush anyone who stood in his way, no matter the cost. Then, a monstrous pillar of raw, crackling energy ripped through the earth, a cataclysmic force unleashed. Deep within a shadowy lair, a fierce red-haired woman and immortal Emperor Ba Su watched a frenzy of demon beasts. She snarled, ready to make trespassers pay. She gasped, terrified by the purple lightning, fearing it would wipe out every Demon King, all tied to the Demon King Snake Inverse nascent soul. From another vantage point, Elder Set watched the chaos unfold, realizing the entire mountain was about to be incinerated. With blinding blue lightning tearing through the heavens, the command was given, observe first. Ling Bao's power rages, her body a conduit for raw, untamed energy as Chen Chang'an desperately clings to her. Blue lightning erupts around them, and he knows this thunder tribulation is too much. If he doesn't act, she's done for. With a fierce resolve, he steels himself, ready to take on anything to save her. But high above, from a hidden temple, a hulking, horned warrior and a fiery red-haired woman with fox ears witness the chaos. He can't believe it, the King of Thunder is actually involved. Back in the eye of the storm, Ling Bao screams, a chilling realization dawning on her, this isn't just a tribulation, it's a trap. Watching the chaos unfold, the red-haired woman lets out a frustrated cry. Her fury ignites as she accuses her unseen rival of cheating, swearing vengeance for their next clash. As the blue lightning around them begins to dissipate, Chen Chang'an, still cradling Ling Bao, starts to wonder if a legendary treasure is behind all this power. Then, in a breathtaking shift, the wild blue lightning around Ling Bao calms, transforming into a radiant, golden aura as she enters a deep meditative state, her power finally tamed. The red-haired observer, still fixated on the scene, makes her stance clear, she's not here for glory or heroics, she's got her own agenda. Ling Bao is absolutely glowing, radiating a golden aura as her breakthrough completes, and the system just dropped a massive 100,000 value reward. Meanwhile, a tiny mouse spirit is totally freaking out over the golden glow, shouting that the K is absolutely a cockpit. But the big players are watching too, Immortal Emperor Ba Su, Elder Set, the Ancestor Spirit, and the red-haired woman are all locked on, and she's already calling Ling Bao a future treasure, vowing to make her own. Suddenly, the red-haired woman explodes into motion, charging with fierce intent. She's on him in a flash, lashing out at the green-clad guardian, yelling, "You dare touch my apprentice," as he fires back, "You dare touch my treasure." The green-clad warrior instantly throws up a defense, a powerful green aura erupting around him. He stares her down, totally shocked, then dares her to bring it on. But she's not listening, instead unleashing a monstrous, fiery beast, screaming that she'll grab the apprentice and flay him alive. A monstrous roar rips through the air, a raw, primal force. But Chen Chang'an is not having it, raging internally about his useless physique while others get to live it up. Shaking off his dark thoughts, he checks on Ling Bao, asking if she's recovered from her ordeal. Ling Bao, ever the trooper, insists she's fine, just a bit tired, but overflowing with thanks for his care. She gushes about how helpful everyone has been, especially him, making her incredibly happy. A soft smile graces his lips, confirming that her joy is all he needs. But the self-doubt creeps back in, as he agonizes over his useless body and the monumental task of reaching the mountain's peak. Suddenly, a new face appears, cutting through his brooding, exclaiming, "Chincher." Meanwhile, the Ancestor Spirit, from his shadowy domain, watches on, nodding in approval at the young man's pure heart. Witness the arrival of Tuoba He, an immortal emperor of the demon kind, his sheer power shaking the very foundations of existence. These three golden crow spiritual fruits, bursting with the essence of the great sun, are a game-changing opportunity to ascend to the immortal king realm, but only if you can conquer their overwhelming temptation. Elsewhere, a feisty dog spirit challenges Snake in verse, but she's unimpressed by mere golden crow spiritual fruits, bragging about her own superior spiritual fruit from the immortal soul realm. She recalls the epic fail of the golden crow spiritual fruits, unable to breach the immortal king realm, and wisely holds off on consuming them for now. Meanwhile, Chen Chang'an is totally gushing about his master's good looks and kind heart, and Ling Bao is just bursting with pure joy. Snake in verse, watching everything unfold, lets out a sly chuckle, plotting to bestow her powerful spiritual fruit upon her own apprentice for a massive boost. She brushes off the dog spirit's comment about her master being human, declaring that only his teaching matters, then dramatically accepts the dog spirit as her new junior sister. But hold up. The dog spirit has a counteroffer, trying to lure the little puppy away, promising an epic path to immortality right by his side. Snake in verse, however, shuts it down with a blunt nope, her resolve absolutely unshaken. Chen Chang'an, with eyes blazing, boldly declares his ultimate goal, to ascend and become a god-level master. But then, a new challenger appears. The fiery red-haired woman steps forward, her gaze sharp and direct. Her eyes pierce through him, and she demands to know, "Who is your master?" Chang'an, cool as ever, declares his independence, but she's not buying it, pushing him to reveal his true power source. He brushes off her doubts, even offering to take her on as a disciple, a suggestion that leaves her absolutely stunned. But before she can respond, a terrifying, demonic power explodes into existence, a maelstrom of crimson lightning and burning eyes. As the world trembles, Ling Bao and Chang'an look to Snake Inverse, who remains eerily calm amidst the chaos, her gaze fixed on the unfolding power. The demonic storm rages, confirming it's the raw power of Tuoba He, a force so immense it could shatter reality itself. Snake Inverse, completely unfazed, coolly analyzes Tuoba He's power, revealing its terrifying origins from the immortal soul realm and its corrupting influence. The corrupting energy of immortal Emperor Tuoba He explodes, and the red-haired woman's chibi form pops up, practically screaming, "Show me how a true disciple trains." Tuoba He's demonic power solidifies into a terrifying, red-eyed monster, its aura crushing everything, but Chen Chang'an's eyes blaze with an intense yellow glow, as the red-haired woman and Snake Inverse are visibly stunned by the raw power unleashed. Meanwhile, in a completely different scene, Li Xiao, looking utterly fed up, glares at a tiny chicken, griping, "Seriously, haven't you seen enough? So small. I've been driven from my place." Is the chicken worried? A dark energy crackles around his hand as he plots his next move. Maybe I should go after the other two demon kings. Chen Chang'an stands there, a challenging glint in his eye, asking, "So, I'm not qualified to be your master?" Snake Inverse just gives a dismissive flick of her hand, letting out a low, mocking laugh, a clear sign of her contempt. He turns to her, but her thoughts are already clear. He might say he has no master, but the one who taught him his cultivation method is absolutely his master. Pointing directly at them, he throws down the gauntlet, asking if they even have masters by that logic, and the red-haired woman immediately fires back, "The one who taught me the cultivation method is my master." Over the defeated ancestor spirit, Snake Inverse then turns to the others, demanding, "What do you two think?" Elsewhere, Ling Bao stands with Chen Chang'an, her eyes wide with sincerity as she asks him directly, "Am I qualified to be your master?" Back with the trio, Immortal Emperor Ba Su, the red-haired woman, and Snake Inverse all declare in perfect sync, "Yes, you are." A sly grin spreads across Snake Inverse's face as she notes the lack of a reply, musing aloud, "Huh. No response, is he seriously going to kill us?" Chen Chang'an reveals a golden, glowing fruit, a smirk playing on his lips, as Snake Inverse, absolutely captivated, immediately questions if this legendary immortal fruit is hers. This isn't just any fruit, it's from the immortal tree, the absolute core of this entire world, and its growth is beyond crucial. Snake Inverse, realizing the sheer power, declares that whoever gets this treasure will have their name immortalized in the lower world's history. She then pushes for the fruit to go to the most deserving, while Ling Bao, eyes wide with hope, timidly asks her master about it, only for Chen Chang'an to casually announce it's all hers. Pure joy explodes on Ling Bao's face as she beams, hands clasped in absolute delight. Out of nowhere, the ghostly immortal Emperor Ba Su materializes, his voice booming with a stern warning that this fruit is not for him. Chen Chang'an, unfazed, calmly weighs the spirit's words, then coolly decides it's perfectly fine to go ahead. He and Ling Bao stand side by side, the young girl now proudly clutching the incredibly precious fruit. Snake Inverse observes them, a sly, mischievous grin spreading across her face, while the narrator reminds us just how monumentally important this immortal tree fruit truly is. The red-haired woman, looking super serious, drops a bombshell on the dog spirit. The immortal tree is about to drop fruit, and this only happens once every 10,000 years. The dog spirit, totally freaking out, points out the tree's spirit is still asleep, but then boom, a blinding light explodes from the tree, grabbing the attention of Chen Chang'an, the red-haired woman, and the dog spirit. The immortal tree, now absolutely buzzing with energy, starts popping out new leaves and branches, its fruits practically radiating light, and Chen Chang'an watches, totally getting that the tree is finally fruiting. The red-haired woman is glued to the scene as he ponders the whole situation, thinking, is the tree spirit about to wake up? Both the red-haired woman and the dog spirit are totally on edge, watching as Chen Chang'an casually thinks, "Hey, if this spirit wakes up, maybe I can get a favor out of it." He keeps thinking, and then just decides, if it says no, I'll just make it submit. Just as he says that, a giant, armored turtle spirit bursts out of the tree, its voice shaking the ground, declaring itself the immortal tree spirit and roaring, "Who dares talk about forcing me?" The red-haired woman and the dog spirit jump back in total shock at the spirit's sudden appearance, but Chen Chang'an, cool as a cucumber, just gets ready to talk back. With a massive burst of golden energy, Chen Chang'an boldly states that he's the one who's going to make the spirit submit, his power absolutely exploding around him. Two figures are absolutely reeling from an unseen attack, one screaming about always getting hurt, the other totally agreeing. Then, a massive blue energy blast just explodes, and an angry voice is like, "Seriously? You always cause trouble." A shadowy figure, absolutely crackling with purple energy, screams, "I'll kill you, you son of AB *TCH, as someone else just gives up, admitting they can't stop this furious assault. But Chen Chang'an is totally unfazed, instantly whipping out a glowing yellow umbrella shield, blocking the insane blue energy that's trying to rip him apart. Even as the blue energy keeps blasting, a golden aura explodes around him, and he's like, "My injuries are healing," leaving his attacker completely stunned. The blue energy just keeps pumping with insane intensity, showing how absolutely furious the spirit still is. But before the spirit can even think about its next move, a golden energy wave blasts out from Chang'an, sending one of those brown-robed guys flying through the air like a ragdoll. Standing cool as a cucumber in the aftermath, Chang'an gets a shout-out for boosting his cultivation qualifications, and Ling Bao is practically bouncing, demanding to know how many more upgrades he just scored. His cultivation qualifications absolutely exploded, a vibrant green energy swirling around him as a dark, crystalline orb materialized before his outstretched hand, ready for the taking. Meanwhile, the Great Elder and Immortal Emperor Ba Su were absolutely floored, their expressions a mix of shock and disbelief, as a system notification blared that Chang'an had just snagged the Immortal Tree Spirit's cultivation qualification, unlocking insane future upgrades. Ling Bao, absolutely stunned by the profound change, whispered to herself, totally baffled by these cultivation qualifications and what they even meant. Nearby, the red-haired woman casually handed Ling Bao a small, intricately carved talent stone, like, "Hey, why don't you test your own potential with this thing?" Clutching the now glowing orb, Ling Bao glanced at Chang'an, who was basically just replaying the system's message in his head, telling himself, chill out, even with a little cultivation, I can still power up later. The red-haired woman's jaw dropped as the orb in Ling Bao's hand pulsed with light, flashing another system notification that confirmed the Immortal Tree Spirit's cultivation qualification was now hers, promising epic future power-ups. Spinning towards Ling Bao, the red-haired woman was like, wait, how can you even upgrade cultivation qualifications if they're already maxed out, totally clueless that the Immortal Tree Spirit's master cultivation qualification was so ridiculously high, it could push someone all the way to the Immortal Emperor realm. Ling Bao, now staring at Chang'an, just dropped a simple reply, totally getting the massive implications of their recent power-ups. With wide, shocked eyes, the green-haired woman can barely believe it, asking if Miss Bao has actually ascended to immortality. Ling Bao is absolutely blown away by Chang'an's power, calling it unbelievable, but he just shrugs it off, like, nah, I'm just an immortal, no biggie. Turns out, the ancient qualification book has upper, middle, and lower grades, and Chang'an is rocking the absolute top tier. Suddenly, a fox-eared beast folk steps up, offering to help him ascend to an immortal body if he just follows her lead, and Ling Bao's face drops, realizing this is the only way to even dream of immortality. The fox-eared beast folk keeps going, dropping the bombshell that his immortal knowledge is straight from the top tier, a truly rare perspective. At the same time, a bullhorn beast folk is practically screaming with excitement, convinced that sticking with the master means they'll all ascend, shouting about his godlike power and their absolute loyalty. Deep in his own head, Chang'an is thinking, he's totally nailing the pie, and there's no way he's messing with the manga plot. Suddenly, a green-haired woman pops up, looking super thoughtful, and asks, Dragon Turtle King? Then, she turns to the fox-eared beast folk and asks again, but this time it's, Turkey King? One moment, Chang'an is right there, the next, Ling Bao is free-falling into an abyss. The very air hums with raw, untamed mana, a chilling energy in the suffocating void. Just moments before, she was worried about her master's hunger, rushing home with her adorable bird companions. But now, she's just a pink blur, tumbling through the abyss, calling out her own name in disbelief. Her name rings out in the silent void, a desperate cry in the face of the unknown. Her eyes are wide with shock and confusion, as the fall just keeps going. She's totally bewildered by this crazy fall, freaking out about where she's even landed. But then, a fiery resolve ignites in her eyes, as she grabs her sword, ready to carve her own path out of this nightmare. Meanwhile, in a terrifying, purple-tinged dimension, a shadowy figure is plotting something truly evil, planning to take out a target and steal their sacred immortal bones. Immortal Emperor Ba Su's eyes blaze with dark power, declaring his terrifying intent, he's about to turn someone into his personal ghost slave. But in another dimension, Ling Bao is powering up, her body glowing with fierce blue energy, sword in hand, absolutely ready to throw down. Then, with an explosive burst, she fires off a massive energy orb, tearing through the air. Across realms, Elder Set is absolutely stunned and enraged, his eyes flaring purple as he realizes the insane power coming from her foundation-building realm. At the same time, the mysterious cloaked figure watches Ling Bao's power unfold, a sinister plan brewing as they recognize the immense potential of their target. Without warning, the cloaked antagonist unleashes pure darkness, a terrifying vortex of glowing skulls exploding outwards. The attack connects, and Ling Bao is rocked, a scream tearing from her as the dark magic hits. The sheer power of the hit explodes, shattering into a shower of pink and yellow energy. She's sent flying, absolutely wrecked, her clothes shredded as she plummets through the void. In a shadowy domain, Li Xiao, ever the keen observer, remarks on Tuoba Ye's unexpected agility, even after consuming the full moon golden elixir. Elsewhere, the red-haired woman, with a knowing look, also acknowledges Tuoba Ye's continued speed. But Snake in verse, clearly over it, demands they speed things up, tired of waiting for the flowers. The red-haired woman playfully pushes for speed, but Snake in verse, with a mischievous grin, tells her to chill out and just show her cards already. Meanwhile, Chang'an, with a smug grin, holds up a glowing green box and apologizes, clearly having just pulled off a brilliant play. The dog spirit, watching the game unfold, laments feeling completely paralyzed, probably by a bad hand. Chen Chanan's mind wanders, a worried frown on his face as he thinks, where's Bauer? It's getting late. At the mahjong table, the red-haired woman confidently states it's all about strategy, but Snake in verse, with a smirk, insists it's purely a game of luck. But Chen Chanan quickly shakes off his worry, reminding himself that Bauer is strong enough to form a golden core, and as long as she dodges the truly terrifying monsters and cultivators, she'll be back safe and sound. He's wondering if the master is still waiting, but Li Xiao is quick to shut that down, reminding him of the master's insane strength. Still, Chen Chanan can't shake this bad feeling, sensing something's off with the master's current vibe. Elsewhere, the plot thickens as the red-haired woman speculates the master's probably just tied up, so they should just chill and see what happens. But high above, a terrifying scene unfolds as Ling Bao is free-falling, a frantic huff ripping from her with every terrifying drop. Her face is a mask of pure terror and strain, as she keeps plummeting, the wind screaming past her ears. The ground is coming fast, but then she spots something below, a glimmer of hope igniting as she screams, almost there. But then, from the abyss below, a colossal, glowing hand, radiating with insane pink and purple energy, shoots up to intercept her fall. With eyes wide in a mix of terror and desperate hope, Ling Bauer screams for her master, her voice cracking as she hurtles towards that glowing, mysterious hand. The second she touches it, she's instantly swallowed by a swirling, purple energy vortex, the hand's raw power just devouring her. And from some dark, hidden corner, a cloaked figure watches it all, a sinister voice declaring, the mouse-catching game? It's over. The cloaked figure, high above the fray, observes with chilling satisfaction, their glowing hand a silent testament to their machinations. Elsewhere, the red-haired woman is utterly decimated, her body broken as she collapses, barely able to utter a word. A desperate scream rips through the air as Ling Bauer freefalls, only for a sinister, glowing hand to snatch her from the void. The very air crackles with dark, swirling energy, a vortex of raw power unleashed upon the battlefield. Chen Chanan explodes into action, his blade blazing with golden light as he charges, ready to annihilate his enemy. A thunderous impact rocks the ground, as his golden weapon slams into its target. Elder Set is visibly stunned by the raw power, his eyes flaring with golden light as he recognizes the immense strength behind the attack. The red-haired woman lies broken and defeated, as Chen Chanan stands amidst the chaos, his focus unwavering. But Elder Set is far from finished, a furious snarl twisting his features, as he erupts with a devastating counterattack, crimson energy blazing around him. Elder Set's counterattack absolutely detonates, unleashing a brutal explosion of blood and raw, destructive power. The red-haired woman is not holding back, straight up asking Elder Set what gives him the nerve. But her hand starts bleeding, and the elder hits her with a chilling warning, you're tired of living. Get out of my manor or die. He doubles down on the threat, telling her to back off or face an easy death. Right when things are about to explode, Snake in verse crashes the party, coughing like crazy and looking totally out of it. The red-haired woman quickly turns, holding Ling Bauer, who blurts out a critical message, Sister Hong Yi, Master wants you to come. The message continues, telling her to meet at the Immortal Temple. Chen Chang'an watches the red-haired woman, sensing her unease and questioning if this test is really getting to her. Back inside, Chen Chang'an is hit with a shocking message, demanding to know if Master is truly in trouble. Outdoors, the red-haired woman is absolutely stunned, her face a mask of pure disbelief and worry. Then, the dog spirit steps up, relaying Master's critical command, get to the Immortal Temple and bring someone back, now. Chen Chang'an, now fully aware of the crisis, realizes the immense danger and who exactly needs his help. The red-haired woman confirms the mission, a long, perilous journey from the evil dragon cave straight to the Immortal Temple. Ling Bauer, glowing with a powerful green aura, reiterates the critical message about Master and the Immortal Temple. The red-haired woman gently holds the frail Ling Bauer, knowing she has to get her back to Master, no matter what. With the mysterious cloaked figure leading the charge through the heavens, Chen Chang'an and Ling Bauer are right behind, ready to help her complete this vital mission. A mysterious cloaked figure, shrouded in darkness, drops a bombshell, without me, she's absolutely done for. But the green-haired snake in verse, with a cold gaze, fires back, declaring the woman's fate irrelevant, only her status as a disciple matters. The cloaked figure, blade now in hand, turns with a grim revelation, 3 emperors are on the loose. If they aren't stopped, it's game over for everyone, and the report is going to be a nightmare. A subtle purple energy crackles around the cloaked figure as they make a deadly promise, touch my people, and I'll wipe you all out. Snake in verse, with an incredulous look, scoffs at the cloaked figure's declaration, demanding to know what kind of nonsense the old man is even talking about. Elsewhere, Chen Chang'an, geared up in his fighting uniform and clutching a golden arm guard, stands firm, his eyes burning with determination as he echoes the threat, whoever touches my people, I'll end them all. Then, in an explosive surge of demonic energy, Li Xiao shifts, his form consumed by a blazing red aura and his eyes burning crimson, letting out a primal scream as he strikes. The blow connects, tearing into a colossal, serpentine energy construct, its blue form buckling, as crimson energy slashes rip through its spectral frame. The blue construct takes the full brunt of the assault, more red energy exploding across its surface as it fights to hold together. Li Xiao, absolutely consumed by his demonic power, charges in with a furious purple aura, unleashing a devastating attack. But before his strike can even connect, a powerful blue energy field explodes, swallowing him whole. The counterattack hits like a truck, sending him reeling, a surge of purple energy blasting him as he screams in agony, cursing the sheer, overwhelming power of this stupid rule. He's violently repelled, blasted backward through the air. As he plummets, that massive green serpentine tail whips away, vanishing in a blur. Li Xiao just keeps falling, that green tail shrinking into the distance behind him. His scream rips through the chasm, a desperate, raw cry as he plunges into the abyss. Meanwhile, in another location, Snake Inverse is locked in with grim determination, knowing that once that spellcaster is gone, Miss Bao will finally be safe. Back in the chasm, that green serpentine tail just vanishes, leaving nothing but empty space. She's locked in, laser-focused on protecting Ling Bao, even if it means taking on some crazy spellcaster. Her eyes glow with fierce determination, knowing this spellcaster is no joke, a threat even to the legendary Dragon Turkey King. But while she's fighting, Li Xiao is still getting absolutely wrecked, his demonic body free-falling after that insane rule just tossed him aside. Back with Qin Chang'an, he's deep in thought, realizing his invincible domain isn't so invincible after all, he can't even see what's happening outside. He's kicking himself, thinking about letting the Dragon Turkey King go. Was that a massive blunder he's about to pay for? The pressure is mounting, he's got to step up and protect everyone, no excuses. He's making a vow to himself, he'll break through his limits, protect his friends, and get his spiritual power back. Meanwhile, Immortal Emperor Ba Su is absolutely fuming, stuck and unable to do anything, he's trapped by the situation. Suddenly, a sharp snap rings out, and Qin Chang'an clutches his face, realizing this isn't the time for a mental breakdown. Qin Chang'an is still reeling, trapped by his own physical limits, feeling like nothing more than a lamb led to the slaughter. But then, Li Xiao strikes. His fiery fist erupts, refusing to let Qin Chang'an get away. Dark energy explodes around him, and Qin Chang'an can't believe it, even after all his training, he's still outmatched. The blast sends him flying, a fiery explosion ripping through the air. Elsewhere, Snake Inverse is blindsided by a new threat, a white-haired woman with blazing red eyes and sinister markings, who snarls as she unleashes a devastating assault. She parries the crimson blast, her mind racing to identify this unknown powerhouse. Then, a blinding yellow energy streak slashes across the sky, moving at impossible speeds. The raw power of the blast continues its trajectory, slamming into Immortal Emperor Ba Su's vicinity, forcing him to brace for impact, as he recognizes the sheer power of another Immortal Emperor. Elder Set, the menacing figure in the purple hat, unleashes a torrent of self-proclaimed power, his voice booming with undeniable confidence. Mocking his foe as a mere trickster, lowly beast, utterly incapable of standing against him, and promising to unleash his true, terrifying strength. Meanwhile, Qin Chang'an stands before an ornate building, his eyes locked onto an unseen disturbance as he utters a name, Qiwanyu. The tiny dog spirit, completely outmatched, is cornered on the ground, staring up in terror at a colossal, shadowy figure that dominates the scene. And then, the shadowy form of Elder Set unleashes a devastating strike. The dog spirit lies utterly defeated, its small body motionless on the desolate ground. Qin Chang'an's eyes snap wide with horror, a desperate, guttural cry of "Bao" tearing from his throat as he spots Ling Bao, engulfed in a protective yellow aura, caught in the distant, unfolding disaster. Elder Set, now fully revealed, revels in his victory, gloating over his fallen foe and mercilessly mocking the defeated beast. But then, a furious Qin Chang'an descends from above, a silver blur of pure rage as he rockets towards Set, roaring, "Set! You get away!" Qin Chang'an locks onto a blazing golden orb in the heavens, a shadowy figure dropping from its core, and he knows exactly who it is. A wave of pure rage and shock hits him hard, his teeth grinding as he braces for the ultimate showdown. The cloaked menace drops closer, and Ling Bao, from somewhere unseen, shouts about the sheer audacity of this guy, wondering how he got so ridiculously strong and even managed to puppet the evil Dragon Cave's Elder Set. Without a single word, the cloaked villain unleashes a blinding golden spear straight at Qin Chang'an, who just coolly retorts with a sarcastic, "Good job." Our hero flinches back, totally caught off guard by the lightning-fast strike, grumbling about how utterly annoying this guy is. Ling Bao's voice cuts through the air again, still trying to figure out the villain's insane power-up and his link to Elder Set, desperate to know where he vanished after messing with that dragon's blood. The cloaked figure hangs in the air, a sinister, dark purple energy crackling around him like a storm. But Chen Chang'an is done playing games, unleashing his own golden power with a primal scream, ready to blast his enemy straight to hell. Golden energy absolutely explodes around Chen Chang'an, his face contorted in a primal, battle-ready snarl. He unleashes a primal, earth-shattering roar, challenging his foe to give up and beg for mercy. The golden aura around him just keeps getting stronger, practically setting the ancient building behind him ablaze with light. But from afar, a mysterious pink, ethereal entity, Jiu Yu, watches on, absolutely stunned by the raw power. Too strong. This guy is actually this strong, it gasps. Jiu Yu's many faces twist in utter shock, realizing, I am Jiu Yu, and I'm actually no match for him. The entity's very form flickers, its mind reeling, where did this power even come from? With Chen Chang'an's power still skyrocketing, Jiu Yu's eyes snap open in a shocking revelation, it's him. Jiu Yu's faces harden with a desperate, defiant resolve, no way. It can't be him. The other owners couldn't possibly be this strong. But even if it's not him, I'm still taking him on. A final, defiant thought screams through its mind, eternal body. I still have a chance. A breathtaking vista of ancient beauty and cascading waters sets a deceptively calm stage. But the calm shatters as Chen Chang'an desperately holds a severely wounded Ling Bao, her life force ebbing away. He's consumed by worry for her, yet she, with her last vestiges of strength, laments that even with his gifts, her ultimate sacrifice was unavoidable. Her physical form dissolves, transforming into a shimmering spirit, a tragic echo of her regret that her master couldn't prevent this outcome. With a whispered, "Master," she reaches out, as Chen Chang'an, his face etched with anguish, takes the full burden of her failure upon himself. Her ethereal form begins to fade completely, leaving him with a gaze of fierce resolve and profound sorrow. Then, an inferno of orange and red energy explodes from him, threatening to engulf everything. His hand shoots skyward, tearing open the very fabric of reality as chaotic purple and orange energies converge. The power culminates in a blinding, overwhelming torrent of pure, unadulterated purple might. Unleashing a torrent of dark purple energy, the white-haired woman explodes into action, her furious roar echoing as she commands her foe to go to hell. Her devastating strike connects, sending the monstrous red beast reeling back with a furious snarl, its body contorting from the sheer force. Yet, in a flash, an unseen counterattack slams into her arm, a sharp UGH escaping her as the impact shatters the ground. Then, without warning, a monumental pillar of pure white energy detonates into the heavens, its blinding radiance tearing through the very fabric of reality. Left battered and broken, the woman collapses amidst the shattered ruins, her power seemingly spent after the brutal exchange. But then, Chang'an materializes, his eyes blazing with an unyielding will as he proclaims, I want you. Her own eyes ignite crimson as she snarls back, who do you want? Her attention then snaps to a shadowy, cloaked figure lurking in the distance, a chilling, ominous presence watching the entire spectacle unfold. But even wounded, her resolve ignites. Purple energy flares around her as she snarls, these bastards, and defiantly screams, continue fighting, before a pained UGH escapes her. But before she can even move, Chang'an is there, his glowing blue eyes locking onto her as he demands, nonsense. What is this, leaving her utterly shocked and exclaiming, you. Blasted. An unseen force just rips into him, a shadowy claw tearing through his defenses. An elder too, right? A voice booms, but who is it? Sent flying, the cloaked figure is just a blur, a desperate, you. Escaping his lips as he's launched. Another hit lands, a lightning-fast strike that sends him reeling even harder. Then, a devastating purple energy blast just smashes into him, the attacker's voice roaring, you got it. And just like that, it's over. The cloaked figure is down, utterly defeated, with Chen Chang'an standing tall over his fallen foe. But the fight's not over yet. The white-haired woman immediately confronts him, eyes blazing, demanding answers and swearing she'll never forgive him. Just then, the red-haired woman bursts onto the scene, practically on fire, screaming that her master's in danger and she has to help him. But Chang'an just shuts her down. He doubles down, flat out refusing to let her through, and the tension is absolutely crushing. Her face twists into a mask of pure rage, purple energy exploding around her, and a tiny, shadowy spirit pops up, spitting insults like, human. Loser. Suddenly, a monstrous, shadowy face with blazing red eyes rips through the veil, its voice booming with raw power, announcing its arrival from the very depths. The shadows solidify, revealing a chained, ethereal woman, her form radiating with blue energy, her eyes blazing with fierce resolve, as she unleashes her eternal body. Witnessing the spirit's full manifestation, Chen Chang'an's mind races, grappling with the sheer scale of its power and the incredible mana drain just to sustain its presence. His hands crackling with green energy, Chen Chang'an's face hardens with resolve, ready to shoulder the immense burden and welcome the spirit's power, even if it means possession. The ethereal woman, her blue eyes burning with fierce intensity, throws down a gauntlet, daring anyone to confront her eternal body, making it clear she's no mere immortal. Matching her intense gaze with a confident smirk, Chen Chang'an's eyes ignite, his spirit surging as he boldly declares himself even fiercer than any immortal. Way up in the sky, Chen Chang'an is chilling with a calm look, while a green-haired woman in red robes is practically begging him to hurry up. But hold up, in some dark, creepy cave, a shadowy figure is watching Ling Baoer, who's freaking out, yelling about an eternal body, and how real it feels. The feeling is just too real, someone else agrees, adding that it smells amazing. Back to the rooftop scene, Xiang Tian is still with Chen Chang'an, her green hair whipping around as she watches everything unfold. Ling Baoer, still stuck in that cave, looks up with a fierce gaze, shouting that she wants to get strong before anything else. With a super creepy grin, Chen Chang'an reaches out, making her an offer she can't refuse: live forever. Suddenly, a blinding golden energy blast explodes from his hand, smashing into Ling Baoer with insane power. He unleashes a devastating golden energy blast, absolutely obliterating Ling Baoer with raw power. The impact sends her flying, her body absolutely demolishing the rock face behind her. But wait, Ling Baoer's eyes are glowing crimson, and she's letting out a terrifying, maniacal laugh. What is happening? Still flying from the blast, she's just ripping through solid rock like it's nothing. Every single hit sends rock flying, as she just keeps tearing through the mountain. After all that, Chen Chang'an gets a system notification, telling him he just wiped out 3 cultivators and a demon, scoring 1,000,000 soul cultivation and a random skill. He stares up, totally confused, like, wait, so many died? I barely did anything. And there are still tons of people left. From a high cliff, he just stares down at Ling Baoer's still body, a chilling reminder of his insane power. Her chest is totally wrecked, and you can still see faint red energy pulsing from the damage. In the swirling aftermath, a horned, red-haired warrior demands, what just went down? Her massive beastman companion rumbles back, no clue, but I caught a killer scent, tried to chase it, and it just vanished. Meanwhile, a cunning green-haired figure, a smirk gracing her face, deduces, that insane mana surge. It means an immortal, soul-affecting treasure just manifested. Bound by chains, the white-haired warrior's eyes blaze with rage, her voice a whip as she snarls, retreat. You're the one who swore we'd get the immortal treasure. What changed? But the protagonist, Chen Chang'an, is down, battered and seething, a guttural, damn it, ripping from his throat. His face a canvas of fury and disbelief, he unleashes a raw, fuck, into the air. Beneath the chaos, grotesque spiders swarm across the barren landscape, a chilling sight. But the white-haired captive, her defiance replaced by a chilling realization, declares, this is too risky. I'm out of here. From the heavens, a figure begins a terrifying descent, a mere silhouette against the endless sky. It's Chen Chang'an, plummeting through the void, a streak of white against the darkness. Still free-falling through the electric blue void, Chen Chang'an unleashes a furious roar, screaming that he's had it with this relentless power. He defiantly challenges the unseen power, daring it to reveal its qualifications for messing with him. With the blue energy swirling wildly, he struggles to comprehend, mumbling about just intriguing its qualifications. His fury boils over, as he shouts back, demanding to know what qualifications this thing has, and if this apology is just another mind game. He scoffs at the bizarre display, never having seen anything like it, convinced it's just some cheap trick. The relentless blue energy just keeps coming, and he screams in pure desperation, begging for it to just stop. He stares up in utter disbelief, realizing he's still plummeting, shocked that he was just moments from getting back up. With a final, enraged roar, he plunges further, recognizing this damn trick again as the blue energy detonates around him. His face twisted in pure agony, he desperately questions if some hidden force is behind this, confessing he's never seen anything like it. Suddenly, a white-haired woman with crimson markings is caught in a terrifying surge of crackling blue energy, her body twisting in pure agony as the power threatens to rip her apart. But what's this? A massive, shadowy figure starts to take shape, glowing with a faint pink aura, its sheer presence chilling the very air. Elsewhere, Xiang Tian and the red-haired woman are watching the whole terrifying spectacle unfold, their faces etched with a mix of worry and knowing dread. The white-haired woman's screams pierce the air as the blue energy goes absolutely wild, her body contorting in a desperate, losing battle against the raw power. And the shadowy entity just keeps getting bigger, its menacing form now a dark silhouette against a raging, storm-filled sky, a terrifying harbinger of doom. Then, out of nowhere, Chen Chang'an is right there, witnessing the whole insane spectacle, his eyes locked on the unfolding chaos above. A final, gut-wrenching scream rips from the white-haired woman, as the relentless blue energy completely devours her. Chang'an now stands before a massive, ethereal void, a blinding, otherworldly light blasting through the space. Just as he's trying to process this mind-bending reality, a system message pops up right in front of him, dropping the ultimate bombshell: he's officially a traverser in a brand new world, and his physique is about to get a serious upgrade. He looms over the defeated woman, her pained cries mirroring his own grim understanding of this brutal new reality. His gaze sharpens, assessing the aftermath. But then, a terrifying burst of purple energy explodes from her, and she screams, begging him to back off. Unflinching, he watches as searing flames consume her, her desperate cries echoing. Even her pleas for mercy fall on deaf ears. With a raw surge of cultivation power, he unleashes an explosive boost. As the chaos subsides, he grapples with the terrifying loss of control, the near-death experience, and the chilling truth: this world is a savage arena where only the strongest survive. A violent burst of energy blasts her away. This is a world of pure self-cultivation, a place where the weak are devoured, and he's ready to play by its rules. Elsewhere, a group of figures is buzzing, totally freaking out about how they got absolutely stomped by some master in the spirit realm, his cultivation level just way too high. They're convinced this master is spirit realm or beyond, and that hits Chin Chang'an hard. He's already spirit realm, but can't even beat some random beasts. He's left wondering, why can't I be that powerful? Then, bam. A system notification pops up, giving him a critical choice: use his 5250 field value to expand his territory, or just say no. His path leads him straight to the Evil Dragon Cave, a legendary cultivation sect that's been around for centuries. Just as he gets there, Jiu, the pink spirit, pops up, totally ready to help him out. Strolling over the sect's rooftops, Chin Chang'an demands someone show themselves, Jiu trailing right behind him. He surveys the scene from above, and Jiu, floating next to him, wishes she could get that kind of attention. But then, her whole vibe changes, and she's suddenly super upset, begging for forgiveness and confessing she messed up. Jiu is practically begging for forgiveness, her spirit form flickering with raw emotion as she tries to explain her impossible choices. She drops a bombshell: the Evil Dragon Cave's immortal master was behind it all, forcing her into an impossible situation. Now, she's just praying Chang'an gets it. Jiu's pink energy is going wild with her emotional breakdown, but Chang'an just stands there, taking it all in. Suddenly, a system notification pops up right in front of him, announcing a massive field value expansion. Later, a new scene. Xiang Tian, the green-haired warrior, is bowing down to him, calling him master and totally recognizing his insane power. And then, Ling Bao, with her iconic pink pigtails, steps up, also bowing down and calling him master. Under the epic night sky, gazing out at his domain, Chang'an is lost in thought, plotting his next move. Still starving, Ling Bao cries out that she wants to eat, and the dog spirit totally backs her up, practically gasping for air from hunger. The domain is seriously blowing up, but even the massive 100,000 mountains are just too tiny for Fakes in Mountain. Chang'an drops some serious knowledge, explaining that the invincible field value is the real MVP, not just for expanding the invincible domain, but also for leveling up the entire system. He lays it out: if you want to boost your value and grab those sweet opportunities, you need an immortal sword. But seriously, don't even think about trying to escape the invincible domain if you're an eternal soul, or you'll just get eaten alive. So, with all that info, he figures out there's only one way to get his hands on an immortal sword. The dog spirit, on the other hand, is totally freaking out, begging Chang'an to let him go, whining that he's already weak, these monsters are too powerful, and he's definitely going to die. Chang'an looks completely wrecked, like he's about to hit rock bottom, and the dog spirit, seeing his master's meltdown, is just like, what in the world is he doing? Meanwhile, Snake in Verse is like, yo, Xiang Tian, why so quiet, and asks if she's scared of the attack, but Xiang Tian just shrugs and says she has no idea. 1 hour, then 2, just ticking by. And before you know it, 4 whole hours have flown by as Chin Chang'an, Ling Bao, and the dog spirit are all crashed out, catching some serious Z's. But even after all that sleep, he's still totally wiped, his face screaming pure exhaustion. He lets out a furious yell, totally baffled by why he's still so drained, like, seriously, a whole night's sleep and he's still this wrecked. He lets out a massive yawn, still feeling completely wiped out even after all that time. While he's still battling this weird exhaustion, Snake in Verse and Xiang Tian roll up, demanding to know what his plan is and what's even going on. The dog spirit, perched right on his shoulder, practically screams at him, demanding his attention for some super important news. The little spirit drops a bombshell: the invincible domain is about to get absolutely swarmed by the demon race, their whole army is practically at the gates, and he's left completely speechless. While he's still reeling from the shock, the dog spirit quickly explains why it's even there, straight up admitting it wouldn't have come begging if it could handle the demon army alone. Shaking off his earlier fatigue, Chin Chang'an raises a glowing hand, unleashing a torrent of power as he gears up for the ultimate showdown. Meanwhile, a system notification explodes before his allies, dropping a bombshell: the cultivation across the 3 domains has absolutely shattered the refining realm. Ling Bao, the dog spirit, Snake in Verse, and Xiang Tian are left stunned, questioning if this destruction level is even real. Even Jiu, a pink, ethereal cloud of pure energy, can't believe it, questioning if this missile is some kind of ultimate weapon. Oblivious to their shock, Chen Chang'an stands tall, a colossal, glowing sword piercing the ground beside him, roaring his challenge to the demon race. They're finally here, and he's ready to welcome them to his invincible domain with open arms, and a massive blade. With an intense gaze, he starts to conjure a complex symbol in the air, itching for more action, ready to fight a bit more. That colossal, mechanical sword from earlier flares with blinding intensity, its intricate design practically screaming with raw power as he dares his unseen enemies to run another one for him to crush. He gazes down at a distant, smaller group of figures, noting that while it's not the full demon race army, it's still a substantial threat. A blinding, golden light explodes from his position, engulfing everything in a powerful, radiant blast. From a distance, Li Xiao and the white-haired woman watch the insane display, the woman gasping in shock. It's him. Chen Chang'an. A monstrous demon, eyes blazing crimson, unleashes a guttural roar, rallying its unseen legions. Sensing the invincible domain's presence, as from a desolate, dark landscape, an immense, palpable aura radiates. Drawing shadowy figures to converge, and Chen Chang'an, now wreathed in brilliant golden light, feels the approaching threat. A massive, glowing sword manifesting behind him as his aura repels the first wave of shadowy demons, while a horde of grotesque, multi-eyed, winged demons recoil from the domain's sheer force. Unable to breach its protective barrier, yet despite the overwhelming power, the vast demon army surges forward. A relentless tide of darkness, but the cultivator stands firm, his golden aura unwavering, defiantly challenging the approaching multitude. Golden energy crackles around his hand, coalescing into a sphere of brilliant blue light. The massive sword still poised behind him, as he unleashes his full power, the golden aura exploding outwards, cracking the very ground beneath him. And observing the cataclysmic display, Jiu, the pink spirit, shudders, recognizing the terrifying, absolute power that demands subservience from all who witness it. Perched on the edge of a blazing abyss, Chen Chang'an, with snake inverse and dog spirit by his side, can't help but question his very existence, asking if he's a destined hero or just a lamb led to the slaughter. He's gotta break free, no matter what. And then, after some serious time flies by, he's all alone in this wild, crimson wasteland. Suddenly, a system notification pops up, screaming congratulations for annihilating 100,000 demons and showering him with 100,000 points. He just shrugs, thinking how ridiculously easy it was to wipe them out, and that his mana is clearly off the charts. Later, chilling on a massive, chained throne, he's deep in thought about that golden sword, the one that's basically a demon magnet, wondering what its deal really is. He's got a nagging feeling, wondering if those ancient soul monsters are even strong enough to sense it, or if some unseen force is just chilling, watching his every move. Chilling under a tree, he casually drops names like Hong Yi and Taiya, then coolly mentions he's still got a few more souls to snag. A confident smirk spreads across his face as he fully grasps the truth, the more demons he slays, the more absolutely unstoppable he becomes. Chen Chang'an is deep in thought, trying to figure out who knows Yunhu best. Elsewhere, Ling Bao shouts in recognition, but Snake Inverse isn't so sure, guessing it's the most powerful one. She demands all intel on Yunhu immediately, stressing that any danger must be reported at once. Chen Chang'an, watching three mysterious glowing orbs, vows to find Yunhu no matter what, telling his team to go search while he holds down the fort. Ling Bao, standing firm, declares she won't let anyone deceive her master, and tells them it's time to move out. A whole week flies by, and Chen Chang'an, with the dog spirit by his side, finally reaches the terrifying evil dragon cave. Deep inside, Elder Set is freaking out, fearing the evil dragon cave is about to be wiped out, because Immortal Emperor Ba Su has already shown up. Soaring through the sky, Immortal Emperor Ba Su boldly states that immortals and treasures won't touch him, promising to unleash his 9 spirits and claim all the loot, but the mysterious cloaked figure next to him has a different plan, insisting they must bring Ba Su to his ultimate end. Dropped off right at the doorstep, the adventure is just getting started. Chilling in his room, Chen Chang'an lets out a relaxed groan, totally unaware of the 2 pink spirit dudes just vibing around him. But then, a thought hits him, a weird vibe in the air he can't quite place. He jumps up, instantly recognizing that weak, familiar energy signature, and it's coming straight from the evil dragon cave. What? Grabbing the little spirit, he's like, nope, these wolf foxes are mine, gotta hide them from those 2 little dogs, who are clearly on the hunt. Suddenly, this super serious old dude in robes just pops up, staring down the young cultivator like he's seen a ghost. The old man immediately lays into him about stealing the wolf fox, and Chang'an's just totally lost, thinking, Dad? What is even happening right now? And just when he thought it couldn't get weirder, a pink-haired girl with a spatula asks where her dad went, making him freak out. Another daughter? Seriously? The old man is absolutely fuming, yelling about his flesh being stolen, but Chang'an, still processing everything, just shouts back that he's dragging him to the evil dragon cave. A young girl's thoughts scream her absolute loyalty, declaring she'll follow her master no matter what. Meanwhile, a narration box drops a bombshell. She's the legendary wolf fox, and the old man? Her long-lost father, who's been on an epic quest to find her. The old man, absolutely fuming, confronts Chen Chang'an, practically yelling about giving him away. But Chen Chang'an just brushes him off, wondering why this old guy won't quit, secretly thinking he's a good dog and planning a meal for him later. Meanwhile, the pink-haired girl is freaking out, desperately warning her dad that eating that stuff is a death wish, remembering the horrific fates of those who tried. A narration box confirms the family drama. The old man is the wolf fox's father, and this girl is his daughter, both on a relentless hunt for their kin. The old man, suddenly in a frantic rush, screams for them to hurry, and the narration drops another bomb. The wolf fox's father is a terrifying demon king, and the girl is his daughter, both on an epic, desperate search for their lost family. Chen Chang'an, with a cocky grin, announces he's here for the wolf fox, basically telling the old man he's getting a free pass to live. But the old man isn't backing down, daring Chen Chang'an to face his real strength. Then, in a flash, the old man's face goes from defiant to utterly shocked, his eyes practically popping out at whatever just appeared. He can barely stammer out a question, utterly bewildered by the sudden twist. Then, the colossal form of immortal Emperor Ba Su materializes, radiating raw, untamed power, and he's already questioning why these demon kings are suddenly showing up here. Staring down the terrifying demon kings, the old man can't help but acknowledge their insane power, but his eyes are already gleaming with greed. He's going for that treasure, no matter what. The demon kings are on the offensive, immediately calling him out for trying to steal their immortal treasure. But Chen Chang'an just shrugs it off, telling them to chill out because there's no way they're getting that treasure from him. The red-haired demon king, Li Ling, grandmaster of the evil dragon cavern, steps up, proclaiming that demon kings don't play by the rules and this treasure is definitely not for some random guy. But Chen Chang'an just brushes off their big talk, telling them he doesn't care who they are and to leave Bao alone because she's his daughter. The demon kings are totally confused, thinking it's all a big misunderstanding, and Bao, still on her knees, just lets out a cute moo. Li Ling is still freaking out from before, muttering about being totally finished and wondering if he's been played. Elder Set, watching everything unfold, is absolutely stunned and bewildered. Then, Chen Chang'an turns to Elder Set, asking if he wants to live and offering him a spot on his side, because he's the only one who can save him from these demon kings. He keeps going, dropping names like the Nine Swords Sect and other big shots, then asks Elder Set what he's got to say about his generous offer. While Elder Set weighed his fate, a crucial flashback ignited, showing a younger Chen Chang'an fiercely guarding a tiny Ling Bao and a pink-haired daughter, who chirped about Master Daddy, saying hello. But Chen Chang'an was not playing around, snapping a warning not to touch her. The stakes were clear, this senior was risking it all, and to reject him meant certain doom. Yet, even amidst the danger, Chen Chang'an flashed a soft smile, calming the little girl with a simple, "It's okay, happy family." Meanwhile, the pink-haired daughter huddled close to her daddy, witnessing the whole intense moment. But the danger was far from over. Immortal Emperor Ba Su, backed by the red-haired and white-haired women, boldly announced his plan, insisting they had to take Bao for her own future. The two little girls looked on, completely exposed. Ba Su's gaze was like steel, his voice cutting through the air as he declared, "You won't stop us." Old man Dad, looking utterly helpless, could only stare back. Suddenly, we're back in the present. A distraught teenage Ling Bao screamed, "But why? Daddy?" Her voice cracking, she demanded, "I just want to know what I want to know." Bao. Chen Chang'an absorbed her anguish. Standing by her side, Chen Chang'an delivered a cool, decisive declaration, "You're mistaken. If Bao chooses to go with you, I won't stop her. But if she refuses, then you have no claim." Old man Dad, still reeling from the implications, repeated the grim truth, that this senior was putting it all on the line, and to cross him meant serious trouble. But Chen Chang'an, with zero hesitation, just said, "I'm not afraid of offending anyone." Old man Dad was left utterly speechless, only managing a stunned, "Incredible." Meanwhile, Snake in Verse, with the dog spirit by her side, was fuming, cursing the ghost bones for still using their people to hold down the Nine Sword Sect, practically extorting their assets. Then, a chilling thought, ancestors are coming. We have to get out of here, now. The white-haired and red-haired women watched, silent. Immortal Emperor Ba Su, now strategizing with Li Xiao, dropped a heavy warning about Jiao Guang, the Nine Bones Sect master, who was tight with the Nine Sword Sect, meaning big trouble if they crossed him. He then added, "Immortals are wild cards, so don't poke the bear. We'll handle Jiao Guang. We'll be there when it counts." Elder Set absorbed every word, his face a mask. A furious purple blob, its form shimmering with rage, unleashes a defiant roar. "I'm your guild master, your brother, your grandpa, your dad. We're not even blood related," it screams at Chen Chang'an, who just watches, then declares, "Soon, I'll have no relation to you, you ungrateful punk. These two old geezers are protecting me." Its face contorts in a close-up of pure anguish, the purple entity wailing, "I'm the grandpa's son. The eldest. They're happy for everyone else. What kind of grandpa is this? Two ancient cultivators, one with a flowing white beard and the other with a stern black one, glare down, the white-bearded elder condemning the creature's outburst as ungrateful. Suddenly, the purple entity shrinks, noticing the two powerful elders, its voice dropping to a bewildered whisper about their unexpected arrival and the shocking mention of family. Two ancient cultivators are just chilling, with one of them totally baffled why his disciple picked this super fancy spot, like, what's the real deal here? His buddy, another elder, is just as stumped, admitting he can't figure it out either, while a super cute, chibi Ling Bao is practically bouncing, demanding the gift she was promised. But she gets shut down, told no gift without master's say-so. Then, the white-bearded elder turns to Chen Chang'an and Ling Bao, dropping the bomb that guests are here and they're about to use some secret technique. Chen Chang'an cracks a sly smile, his eyes fixed on the incoming crew. And boom! It's Hong Yi, the red-haired woman, rolling up with a massive, shadowy beast and a whole squad of monsters. Her crew, including some massive green brute, are already hyped, screaming about snatching up that spiritual treasure. All of them yelling the same greedy question, where's the treasure? Then Hong Yi turns to the white-bearded elder, confirming this is the spot for the spiritual treasure. The white-bearded elder, with a total smirk, orders his crew to grab all the spiritual herbs and magic tools, while his darker-haired buddy is like, whoa, first time seeing Elder Tianfeng stuff. Ling Bao fearlessly declares to her dad that master is incredible, these monsters are no match, and the immortal treasure is now hers, a direct gift from him. But Chen Chang'an is absolutely floored by her bombshell, his brain short-circuiting over the immortal treasure being out in the open, as Elder Set desperately warns Li Xiao to hide it before the Demon King spot it. And just like that, the word treasury echoes, as the red-haired woman, Hong Yi, charges with her monstrous army, screaming for them to kill everyone and snatch that immortal treasure. In the front lines, a massive blue demon snarls, vowing to make her feel good, as a creepy green demon giggles about devouring the soon-to-be-born girl. Watching the incoming chaos, Chen Chang'an coolly tells his allies to pay attention. He takes a beat, a deep thought flashing across his face, like he's seeing the bigger picture. Then, out of nowhere, Ling Bao ignites with a blinding, golden aura, her sword poised for battle as she gets ready to smash the incoming foes. Her explosive power-up leaves Li Xiao utterly stunned, and Elder Set is practically gagging, muttering about how sick he feels. Elsewhere, Grandpa ponders if Chen Chang'an's move is actually genius, while the pink-haired daughter is totally bewildered, asking if her master could possibly be a villain. With the stage set, a massive horned demon looms over a green-haired beauty, who can only blush and whisper her off for her master. But wait, Chen Chang'an is focused on something else entirely, a shimmering purple spirit, a soft spirit escaping his lips. All while a terrifying horde of demonic figures, eyes blazing with dark intent, watches the unfolding drama. Then, a system message pops up right in front of Chen Chang'an, and his reaction is priceless, dude. BAS Manhwa. Meanwhile, the entire crew, Li Xiao, Elder Set, the red-haired woman, Ling Bao, and even that beast-like demon, are all staring at him. One shouts about a great immortal's generous heart, while another boldly asks if he's tired of living. Li Xiao's mind is blown, stammering, is he an immortal? A narration box drops some serious lore, reminding everyone that immortals are bound by cosmic laws, and breaking them means instant, brutal karma. Elder Set is just as floored, muttering about finding an immortal slayer back to her, and seriously considers bowing down to become his disciple. But Chen Chang'an is totally in his head, thinking, what's the point of being a cool manga character if it's not actually cool? He can't just let everyone freak out forever, or he'll end up being the bad guy in this whole cultivation world. Then, BAM. A system message explodes, congratulating him for upgrading his invincible domain to level 2, dropping 1000 points, and unleashing the ultimate new skill, True Domain of Invincible. A thunderous "pa" rings out as Chen Chang'an absolutely radiates with insane, fresh power. A mysterious, intoxicating aroma suddenly hits Chen Chang'an, making him wonder what's going on, as Li Xiao, Elder Set, Snake Inverse, and Ling Bao are all locked onto him. Even from afar, the red-haired woman and the dog spirit catch a whiff of that insane fragrance, and their primal urges kick in, making them crave a bite of whatever is causing it. But Chen Chang'an is having his own moment, feeling the seal on his eternal body just disappear. What is even happening? The aroma goes into overdrive, completely hijacking the onlookers, who are now screaming with pure, unadulterated hunger, demanding, give me, and I want it. Then, a blinding explosion of light bursts from Chen Chang'an, and he lets out a shocked "Oh," as his power level skyrockets. The entire crowd is absolutely stunned by the raw power, their jaws on the floor as a golden light washes over everything. Now chilling out, Chen Chang'an gets a system pop-up, telling him he has to break his eternal body's seal to upgrade his physique, and he's like, what do I even do now? The system drops more intel, his invincible domain's real purpose is to shield him from the immortal slayer Bacter, making this defense super critical. Chen Chang'an is practically radiating power as the system confirms his physique is officially upgraded, and his immortal path is now crystal clear, ready for him to dominate. He's absolutely fuming, glaring at the system notification. A new skill, tied to his traverser character, but it's got negative effects. This is a total ripoff, a light bulb of a skill that's just too much. Suddenly, another message pops up, screaming that the system version is outdated for gift packages, demanding an immediate upgrade. Then, the system lays out the insane loot from the salted fish gift bag, the mirror flower and water moon function and an experience card. This Immortal Way Forever card is a one-time use, super powerful function experience card, and he has to pick who gets it. Clutching the Immortal Way Forever card, he's deep in thought, seriously considering if he should just use it on himself. The system practically reads his mind, asking if he really wants to use this one-shot function on himself, and his jaw drops in pure shock. Then, another notification drops, revealing this card can supercharge his physique, and he's like, oh, there are definitely a ton of things I can use this for. Once he pops open that salted fish gift bag, the system unleashes the mirror flower and water moon function. He can now summon a mirror image with his full power for 10 minutes, on a 1-hour cooldown, ready for battle, exploration, anything. He lets out a frustrated, ugh, totally swamped by all these new powers and system updates. Suddenly, a familiar voice rings out from below, calling him Master. Just as the system's final notifications settle, a voice cuts through the silence, a hesitant, Xiaoban. And then, a sleek, glowing interface flashes into existence, revealing Chen Chang'an's updated stats, System Level 3.0, Realm, None, but with insane special features like all living things and the solution of Immortal Path. His power field now stretches 74 meters, boasting a field value of 150. Chen Chang'an is chilling, meditating under a massive tree, surrounded by ethereal spirits, while Ling Baoer just hangs out in this super chill immortal setting. A blonde woman flashes a gentle smile, standing with Chen Chang'an and the red-haired woman, totally soaking in the spiritual vibes of this immortal land. Meanwhile, Grandpa and Immortal Emperor Ba Su are deep in conversation about the immortal land, with Chen Chang'an just chilling in the background. Grandpa's like, didn't you say you'd snatch this whole place, and Ba Su's all, nah, we can still pivot, no way that, senior, can beat us. Someone's hand grips a glowing red orb, as the elders are hyped for, big brotherly, to break through to the immortal realm, ready to back him up. But wait, Chen Chang'an is standing solo on a rocky peak, absolutely radiating a powerful red aura, basically screaming that he's not scared of anything anymore. Grandpa and Immortal Emperor Ba Su are absolutely floored, totally freaking out and wondering, how is that even possible? A dark-haired man watches, mind blown, realizing this elder has cultivated for millennia and never seen anything like it. He's convinced Chen Chang'an is a hidden, peerless expert. Suddenly, a blonde woman shouts out to him, her voice cutting through the air. He just lets out a soft sound, while Ling Baoer is totally confused, asking what's up. But wait, over on the side, the dark-haired man is hyping himself up to break through to the immortal realm. Grandpa just chills him out, telling him not to stop Chen Chang'an, even as the man tries to argue. She's literally clinging to his arm, vowing to take on any immortal who dares come for him. She'd rather serve them herself than let him go, while Ling Baoer just stares, totally worried. Grandpa's still dropping wisdom, telling the dark-haired guy that Chen Chang'an is no slacker, which just makes the man playfully complain. Then, out of nowhere, the blonde woman just starts to faint. Ling Baoer screams, what, as the woman totally collapses into Chen Chang'an's arms. Her jaw drops as she sees the blonde woman, Yuan, has somehow shrunk into a tiny, chibi version of herself. Now, the red-haired woman, Hong Yi, is holding the tiny Yuan, demanding to know what happened, and Chen Chang'an just stares, trying to process this wild change. Hong Yi's eyes narrow, realizing the gravity of the situation. Xiaoban is now treading the demon path. But he's full of doubt, a mere mortal with no cultivation base, how can he teach a demon? Hong Yi, however, knows the path is brutal, even for demon beasts. It demands insane effort and talent, a challenge even the demon beast elite struggle with. But wait, Chibi Yuan is already feeling the fatigue, declaring it's time for a break. She's even inviting others to chill, saying, come on, let's all rest. Chen Chang'an's expression turns serious, the implications of Hong Yi's challenge sinking in. Hong Yi then hits him with the real question, why would the Demon King give her exercises to Xiaoban? The tension is palpable. She quickly explains her logic, as his most trusted subordinate, it's her duty to teach Xiaoban these powerful exercises. And Chibi Yuan, still feeling sleepy, drops a bombshell question, asking if this whole thing is just a test. Hong Yi, still gripping Chen Chang'an's hand, lays down the law, right now, he's just a useless young master, and she, as his master, can't deny it. Her expression softens just a touch as she adds, his happiness, and hers, are totally in his hands. From afar, a voice calls out, demanding good news and a swift return. Deep in the forest, Chibi Yuan pipes up, asking Chen Chang'an if he's still around, and he just gives a confused moo back. She confirms she's still there, chilling on his shoulder, then asks again if he's still there, before announcing her plan to totally annoy him. Across the way, Chibi Ling Bao and Dog Spirit freak out, shouting in total shock. Days later, a snake lets out a terrifying hiss. The massive snake inverse wraps around a tree, its scales gleaming as it keeps on hissing. Just moments later, Chen Chang'an looms over Snake Inverse's human form, now lifeless on the ground, dead, and he can't help but comment on how wild things just got. He just nods along as Ling Bao, with all her adorable energy, announces her lunch plans for snake soup, and he's totally on board. Later, Chen Chang'an is deep in the system menus, checking out his infinite clones, seeing their 100% his strength, last 8 hours, but drain a ton of spiritual energy and have a full day cooldown. Both he and Ling Bao then realize that when a clone gets taken out, it just poofs into spiritual energy, leaving only its memories behind with zero impact on the original. But then, out of nowhere, things go sideways as they both end up tied up, with Ling Bao totally bummed that she's restrained and can't mess around anymore. He's totally fed up, complaining about having nothing and no food, just as Ling Bao freaks out, yelling about something demonic. His face twists with worry, as he questions if they're about to face down another monster. A mysterious figure just chilling in the clouds, dropping a casual, coming, like it's no big deal. Then, a.m. Ling Bao and Snake Inverse are absolutely shook, their jaws on the floor as Ling Bao practically screams about the master's arrival. The camera pans down, showing off those pristine robes. And Ling Bao is still freaking out, asking where all this beauty even came from, while Snake Inverse is just like, who cares? Those legs are pristine, and all this beauty is mine. Then, the man himself, Chen Chang'an, steps up, coolly introducing himself to his utterly smitten admirers. Ling Bao gives a polite greeting, but Snake Inverse goes full-on service mode, offering to handle his bath, hair, and even a shoulder massage. But Chen Chang'an's face tells a different story, a clear look of, "Are you serious right now?" etched into his features. Switching scenes, high above a barren land, a whole bunch of people are just free-falling, and the ominous message flashes, "It's over." It's all over, he laments, the heavenly Tao's injustice laid bare, but now, the real game begins. These are the rule-breaking traversers, crashing down from the heavens. A dark, armored figure watches the chaos unfold, demanding to know who these powerful invaders are. With eyes blazing, Immortal Emperor Ba Su roars for answers. Amidst the fallen, Grandpa is down, looking utterly defeated. The dark-haired man looms over the elder, announcing a direct soul search, ignoring his desperate wait. Golden energy erupts as the soul search begins, and the elder screams in agony. He unleashes the forbidden soul-searching technique, a power that can instantly destroy a cultivator, but he'll risk it all to find the traverser. As the elder glows with raw energy, the dark-haired man rages at the heavenly Tao's unfairness, demanding to know how such a powerful traverser could defy the rules, and then, the shocking truth, the elder holds the immortal sword they've been searching for. The dark-haired man, Li Xiao, and Immortal Emperor Ba Su are just spectators as a colossal, green-skinned beast with blazing yellow eyes unleashes a devastating attack, its monstrous maw swallowing Chen Chang'an whole. The sheer force of the beast's attack sends him spiraling into its massive, terrifying maw, a vortex of razor-sharp teeth and pure darkness. But just as it seems all hope is lost, a blinding, ethereal sword manifests in his grasp, poised to unleash absolute destruction and reclaim his freedom. Meanwhile, a stunning white-haired woman with blazing red eyes sits like royalty, her mind racing over the shocking idea of a traverser so powerful they could even make Immortal Emperor Ba Su tremble, a concept that clearly rattles her to the core. Her loyal companion, Snake Inverse, urgently reminds her that Grandma Hong Yi and Fawan are still desperately waiting for her to come back to the sect, but her words seem to just bounce off the defiant woman. Hong Yi, with an unshakable expression, flat-out rejects the idea of going back, her defiance absolutely rock-solid. Her fiery red eyes blaze as she declares her choice won't hurt the sect's bottom line, hinting at some serious hidden knowledge. Snake Inverse, finally getting it, nods in understanding, accepting the unspoken truth. Hong Yi then drops the bombshell. Her confidence comes from having a super powerful backer, an ally who guarantees her safety and absolute freedom. Zheng Hao confronts a mysterious purple-robed figure, as a chorus of women behind him call out his name, setting the stage for a tense standoff. He challenges Hong Yi's loyalty, demanding to know why she's still here, warning her about the master's mission and the consequences of being tracked down. But Hong Yi? She's not backing down, flat-out refusing to budge. Meanwhile, the other sect members are gossiping, insisting Hong Yi deserves her punishment, claiming she's just another fallen talent trying to use her master as an excuse. Hong Yi snaps back, her eyes blazing as she shuts them down, warning them never to insult her master. But before she can even blink, Zheng Hao strikes. A blinding, white-pink energy blast erupts, slamming straight into her. The sheer power of the blow sends Hong Yi flying, the impact reverberating with a deafening boom. Hong Yi crashes down, clearly hurt, while Zheng Hao looms over her, his mind racing with worries about the master's insane power-up and his own fading status. He doubles down on the master's command, threatening her with severe punishment if she defies him. But Hong Yi, battered but unbroken, declares she's untouchable with her master's backer on her side. Looking up, she makes a desperate plea to an unseen ally, promising incredible rewards if they just side with the master's mysterious backer. A formidable white-haired warrior with blazing red eyes exudes absolute confidence, declaring the master's unwavering integrity and his own status as an unparalleled powerhouse, having utterly transcended the lower realm's boundaries. Fixing his gaze on Hong Yi, he coolly states that with the immortal treasure still hers, her return to the sect is imminent, and then, her adversary will be utterly trapped. With Hong Yi making her exit, he mockingly suggests she might owe him gratitude for orchestrating her foe's arrival and her own dramatic escape. Panic flashes across Hong Yi's features, she absolutely has to find him and make a swift exit. Her mind a whirlwind over a sprawling, ethereal landscape, she urgently resolves to reach the master with unprecedented speed. In another location, a stunning white-haired woman with emerald eyes gasps in astonishment, questioning if the surging energy is genuine immortal power, and recognizing the master's incredible gifts. She then turns to the formidable white-haired, red-eyed individual, respectfully acknowledging him as senior. The heavenly demon's face contorts in a terrifying rage, roaring about the audacity of this heavenly demon to be so arrogant, to embrace his disciple, and to defy his meticulously crafted layout. His fury escalates, condemning such defiance as an outright death wish. Still radiating with the master's incredible power, the disciple can't help but reflect on the insane gifts she's been given, a whole new life, absolute safety, and everything else from him. But the heavenly demon, his back to her, is still absolutely seething, ranting about how the master dared to interfere with his grand scheme, even putting in all that effort. He's throwing down the gauntlet, warning that anyone who dares to mess with him will face serious consequences, his hand practically burning with power. The disciple just quietly accepts his threats, a soft, yes, barely audible as she gazes downward. He spins around to face her, practically sneering as he challenges the immortal power she's got, his voice dripping with doubt. Then, almost to himself, he declares that since these descended beings have finally shown up, he's actually pretty hyped to see what they're all about. Meanwhile, a new player with dark hair and intense blue eyes flashes a confident smirk, his gaze absolutely razor-sharp. Suddenly, a system notification dings, flashing his name, Chen Chang'an, showing his system level is maxed out at 3/3 and his field range is a massive 123 meters, boosted by an extra 49. The sky itself is tearing open, a swirling vortex of raw energy and electric blue lightning exploding across the heavens. Jagged, crystalline formations are tearing through the atmosphere, each lightning strike illuminating their razor-sharp edges in a terrifying display. And below, colossal, green-skinned giants are emerging, their massive hands already clutching smaller, red-hued beings in the escalating chaos. Li Zhao's face twists into a mask of pure despair, his crimson eyes wide with absolute terror as he watches the world fall apart. Zheng Hao, surrounded by the red-haired woman, Ling Bao, and the new disciple, shouts, "It's confirmed. This is the heavenly tribulation. Not one, but 12 immortal emperors have descended. What is happening? Is the immortal realm actually going to be destroyed?" The ominous, dark crystalline structure keeps growing, as a voice booms, "What is immortal Emperor Ba Su doing? He's been cultivating for tens of thousands of years." Chen Chang'an and his crew, Snake in Verse, the blonde woman, and the dark-haired man, stare up at the terrifying celestial body, as the narration reveals an unknown calamity has struck the immortal realm, forcing this heavenly tribulation to descend and threaten total annihilation. But Zheng Hao, his face now etched with fierce determination, declares, "Fortunately, I have the right order. I gotta see this for myself." Chang'an exclaims, his eyes fixed on the unfolding disaster with his new disciple. "Check out these immortals. This is a once-in-a-lifetime accident." But what about Zheng Hao? Can he even hope to resist this insane immortal power? The question hangs heavy. Immortal energy absolutely explodes, flooding the entire world. Immortal Emperor Ba Su, full of himself, shouts, "If there's an immortal out there, I'll crush him and become a true god." "Whoa, look at that," someone yells, pointing at some crazy structure. Chang'an, still watching with his disciple, just laughs at the audacity. Immortal Emperor Ba Su is so full of himself, but he's just a regular immortal. And yeah, there's a whole immortal emperor realm out there. Ba Su, completely unfazed, just keeps bragging, he Xuanwu is the strongest in the world. With a smug grin, Chang'an announces, 1, 2, 3, all the immortals are gone. Finally done. He stands with Bauer and his disciple, the air finally clear, as the sheer scale of 12 immortals sinks in. In the chaotic aftermath, one of Ba Su's subordinates nervously asks, Master, what do we even do now?" With a blinding flash of power erupting from his hand, Chen Chang'an coolly asks the terrified girl beside him, "Why are you still scared when I'm right here?" Then, with a thunderous crack, the very earth beneath them explodes, utterly annihilated by his raw, unbridled might. Ba Su's bull-headed subordinate can only stare, utterly flabbergasted, muttering, Isn't this the old man's power from before?" Even Ling Bauer, her eyes practically popping out of her head, can barely choke out a stunned "Grandpa hi." And just like that, thud. Another enemy bites the dust, lying broken and bleeding, a chilling reminder of what happens when you cross him. Meanwhile, Zheng Hao, absolutely seething, throws down the gauntlet. If you want to save the sword, then come to the evil dragon cavern of the implicated heavenly demon. A grizzled, bearded figure snarls, "How dare an ant question me," as the sharp-eyed woman next to him smirks, "Heh, the incompetent immortal emperor should have gone to the evil dragon cavern for help ages ago. Now they're all gone." Suddenly, the heavenly demon, his crimson eyes burning with rage, snaps, "This is nonsense. Kill the woman and get me that heavenly sword now." And with a blinding flash of golden power, he charges, a terrifying blur heading straight for his prey. The heavenly demon's ultimate attack, a crushing wave of dark purple energy, was instantly shut down. Chen Chang'an, radiating pure power, met it with an explosive clash of yellow and blue light. Meanwhile, the dark-haired man and a blonde observer were absolutely floored, one of them shouting, "You, so bold," in utter shock at the protagonist's move. But the real game-changer? Ling Bauer, holding the legendary, glowing immortal emperor's heavenly sword, was ready for anything. The heavenly demon, absolutely livid and radiating dark power, screamed, "How dare you use the sword of an immortality cultivating system." His rage was palpable. But Chang'an wasn't done. He unleashed a lightning-fast, crimson energy slash, and the heavenly demon couldn't even react, let alone block it. The hit landed with devastating power, and the heavenly demon was sent flying. He was blasted backward, consumed by his own dark energy, a shocking defeat for the powerful demon. With the fight over, Chang'an coolly turned to his apprentice, casually asking, "My apprentice, you can also move?" Immortal Emperor Ba Su, absolutely flabbergasted by the quick win, couldn't believe it, exclaiming that the bold ghost was defeated and couldn't even take down a weaker opponent. The heavenly demon, reeling from his shocking defeat, still can't wrap his head around it, arrogantly claiming he only used a fraction of his true power. But from the sidelines, Li Xiao, ever the strategist, recognizes the protagonist's insane power but is already plotting, convinced there's a hidden weakness to exploit. But the heavenly demon? He's absolutely losing it, his mind blown by the impossible truth. His legendary heavenly demon body was taken down in one hit. Amidst the chaos, Chen Chang'an calmly pulls a crying Ling Bauer close, telling his disciple to stop crying and banish her fear. But don't let the calm fool you, a terrifying, crimson rage flares in his eyes, a silent, burning fury ready to erupt. He keeps her close, his words a shield against her fear. Then, with a decisive move, his hand shoots out, snatching the heavenly sword as it blazes with raw power. He explodes into motion, a blur of speed, leaving a sonic boom and a trail of blue energy in his wake. The heavenly demon, now engulfed in a fiery aura, sneers with fake fear but real shock, roaring, "Oh no, I'm so scared. Who gave you, Liang Jingyu, the guts to talk back?" Chen Chang'an's furious outburst rips through the air, and a pink-haired woman can only watch, her face a mask of intense thought. With her eyes blazing crimson, she declares her immediate priority, securing the immortal sword before anything else goes wrong. A powerful, one-word order rings out. Just a minute later, the camera pulls back to reveal the colossal immortal sword, utterly still, impaled in the ground with two tiny figures near its base, all under the watchful eye of a crow. Hong Yi, utterly perplexed, demands to know why the immortal sword remains frozen, refusing to react to the chaos around it. She reveals the sword's incredible history, forged by countless entities, and emphasizes that as long as Hong Yi himself draws breath, he commands it, so its current silence is absolutely mind-boggling. Could it be a range issue? She speculates, then issues a direct order, "Get closer." A fierce resolve hardens her gaze as she declares her intent to take matters into her own hands. With the mysterious object still in motion, she repeats her urgent demand to close in. Still locked onto the legendary blade, Hong Yi's mind races, the immortal sword is static, its immense power strangely contained. What's going on? But then, Chen Chang'an, looking totally lost, gets a cryptic warning, "Go back if you don't want to be stopped." A dark shadow looms over him, hinting at unseen forces. Suddenly, a new threat emerges. A furious man screams, ready to strike, but his purple-haired companion holds him back, her instincts screaming that their target is far stranger than he appears. Meanwhile, the immortal sword, now a maelstrom of purple lightning, is revealed to be an unstoppable force. Even the mighty heavenly demon, the apex of the lower world, can't command it. Even with shadowy figures swirling around him, the heavenly demon admits defeat against the sword's raw power, forced to concede that he can only handle 10 black souls with his current strategy. A brilliant blue sphere of energy crackles with raw power, a hand plunging into its depths. And the Traverser is back, baby. He's already plotting who to chop next, ready for action. Chang'an plunges through the void, eyes locked onto the pulsating energy beneath him. He's thinking, blaming someone. Easy peasy. He's hyped to find his next victim. But then, bam. A sudden realization hits him, and his face goes from smug to utterly bewildered. Blue lightning explodes around him as he shouts, he's out. No more chopping for this fool. He's totally ticked off, muttering, what a pain, and demanding to know what kind of heavenly demon this is. And then, boom. He's staring down a massive horde of demonic figures, a terrifying new challenge just dropped. Chen Chang'an, with his immortal cultivation methods, is about to drop the hammer. A shadowy, fiery demon manifests. And Chang'an, with a confident smirk, just shrugs it off, saying, oh, not bad, TSK. Then he charges, a glowing sword in hand, teasing, mine is very big, please bear a little. The demon gets rocked as the attack lands. Engulfed in a fiery explosion, its form twisting as it screams, this person has changed, not a pitiful, weak ghost. The demon's shadowy essence just keeps getting devoured by the sheer power. Meanwhile, Ling Baoer is totally shocked, her companion chill as she gasps, fortunately, I succeeded and explored, but look at that. Threat neutralized, Chen Chang'an takes in the epic view, a stunning new world unfolding before his eyes. The disciple and the dark-haired man are absolutely floored, utterly unable to process how a space crack, a cosmic anomaly, just got obliterated. The dark-haired man can only scream, how in the world is this even happening? It's a cosmic truth, only beings who shatter the laws of heaven or wield their own outer space crack can defeat another with a single blow, a mystery that baffles even grand emperors. Yet, the heavenly demon is utterly crushed. Still reeling from the sheer power, the dark-haired man roars, what in the world is he doing? Chang'an, enveloped in a soft blue aura, stares down, utterly bewildered, muttering, huh? What is this? Suddenly, a fierce red energy explodes from his body, pulsing with raw, untamed power. Chang'an extends his hand, a gentle blue light erupting from his palm as he unleashes a healing spell, whispering, heal. He's utterly exhausted, having thought he was about to be consumed by the system, then asks the demon, are you awake? He gently holds the battered heavenly demon, his entire being radiating with powerful healing energy, while the disciple stares, absolutely stunned, completely unable to compute this insane act of mercy. Li Xiao, the heavenly demon, is absolutely radiating menace, his red eyes burning as he unleashes a chilling declaration, you guys are nothing. You'll be crushed to dust by me. Someone cries out his name in alarm. His dark, swirling power threatens to engulf everything, but as Chen Chang'an stands firm, desperate cries echo from the shadows, we have to fight to the death. It's our only chance. But before the demon can even land a blow, Chang'an unleashes a devastating golden blade, a flash of pure power that sends Li Xiao reeling. The heavenly demon is down. Chang'an stands victorious, bathed in golden light, as immortal Emperor Ba Su can only utter a single, stunned syllable. His face, however, remains perfectly serene, utterly unfazed by the epic battle he just won. Ba Su's mind is blown, his body flaring with a red aura of pure astonishment. This is the law itself, he gasps, it's over. Then, Chang'an turns, a golden glow still around him, and coolly tells his good disciple to open your eyes and have a good look. Elsewhere, Ba Su gently places a hand on Ling Baoer's head, dropping a bombshell question that leaves her utterly stunned, how did the emperor who killed your father and grandpa hide Yi? A gasp escapes Ling Baoer, her thoughts reeling as she realizes the ordinary man standing beside her is actually a terrifyingly powerful grand emperor. With his eyes burning with an intense, almost terrifying light, Chen Chang'an unleashes a chilling declaration, promising to send his foes straight to the deepest pits of hell. As a golden, crackling energy begins to surge around his arm, making it clear that this divine retribution will be personally delivered by him. Witnessing this raw display of power, immortal Emperor Ba Su can only manage a single, choked syllable, his face a mask of utter shock and dawning realization. Then, spinning to confront a monstrous, shadowy horde, he unleashes his full might, roaring that while the Lord Emperor might have shown mercy, he absolutely will not. A thunderous stomp sends golden energy exploding from his foot, a final, undeniable declaration of his personal judgment. His expression hardened with righteous fury, he swears to cast them into the abyss for every innocent life they've mercilessly extinguished. Then, a blinding, cataclysmic golden explosion erupts, swallowing the shadowy figures whole, their terrified screams instantly silenced as they are utterly vaporized. The raw, destructive golden energy continues to rip through reality, leaving behind only an empty, smoking void. Immortal Emperor Ba Su stares, utterly dumbfounded, at the devastating aftermath, his face frozen in a mask of pure, unadulterated shock at the sheer, overwhelming power he just witnessed. A hulking dark beast and a shimmering pink spirit are absolutely reeling in terror. Meanwhile, across the way, the blonde woman and the dark-haired man are absolutely stunned by the insane power on display. The golden energy, unleashed by Chen Chang'an, is still going absolutely wild, swallowing up those shadowy figures in a blinding, all-consuming blaze. Immortal Emperor Ba Su, looking totally blown away, watches with the red-haired woman and another observer, the insane light practically burning in their eyes. He instantly recognizes the sheer, overwhelming power, muttering that this level of immortal fire is something he's only ever heard about in ancient, forgotten legends. The golden blaze absolutely explodes even brighter, confirming his gut feeling, that's immortal fire. It's divine fire. Completely engulfed in a blinding, radiant glow, immortal Emperor Ba Su is absolutely mesmerized by the sheer, overwhelming power. Wiping out immortals like they're nothing. That's not just a death, that's an absolute obliteration. Then, a golden-haired figure appears, hands raised, channeling some insane power, and you can practically hear the world itself starting to crack. He just stares, a confused, huh, on his face, like even he's surprised by the sheer chaos he's about to drop. And then, boom. Everything just explodes, leaving nothing but pure, destructive energy and shattered remnants. The heavenly demon looks back, remembering how one insane slash wiped out thousands of immortals, and a single hit took down an immortal emperor, a legend now just dust. If immortals are just playthings to this guy, what in the world is he up to now? He lets out a heavy sigh, realizing it's truly over, and remembers introducing immortal Emperor Ba Su, only for him to get wiped out in 3 days flat. Looking up with a grim expression, he despairs, knowing there's no one left to defend the heavenly realm. He feels it, a bizarre sensation, like he's being fast-forwarded, his power surging in his palms. But elsewhere, a terrifying beast roars, furious at how this one guy could get so ridiculously strong in just a year. Back to the protagonist, those glowing orbs in his hands are practically vibrating, the energy harvest is totally maxed out. Then, it hits him like a truck, his eyes blazing with pure rage and disbelief, because the system just popped up, confirming his system heart is still a no-go. He lets out a frustrated, pew, a heavy sigh escaping him, thinking he'd finally get that system recognition, but nope, still stuck in the same old grind. His intense focus breaks as he looks down at Ling Bauer, who's just sitting there, looking totally bummed out. Her eyes are already welling up, looking at him with that heartbreaking gaze, just begging for a hug. He pulls her close, holding her tight, while she just boo-hoos into his chest. Staring down at her, he thinks, he's got a massive secret from Bauer, and he has no idea how it's all gonna play out. Inside a majestic, ancient hall, a voice declares a temporary reprieve, vowing to personally return someone to the 100th sect later. Elsewhere, in a moment of calm, a steaming cup of tea is offered, a subtle act of devotion. But then, a massive wave of mysterious energy slams into Qin Chang'an, and he's instantly hit with the shocking realization that he's powering up and breaking through his cultivation yet again. Meanwhile, a new disciple drops a bombshell on the red-haired woman, revealing that Demon Emperor Ningxiu is toast, his entire army wiped out, and his head is now a trophy at the 100th sect's gate. The red-haired woman then faces Ling Bauer, her face grim as she declares, "Bauer, this is all your father's fault." Qin Chang'an's eyes ignite with a terrifying red light, his voice a sharp command as he snarls, "Sit down." A massive blue aura explodes from him, crackling with raw power, a terrifying demonstration of his true strength. With his eyes still blazing crimson, the chilling news of Demon Emperor Ningxiu's downfall and the massacre of his forces replays in his head, the 100th sect's ruthless display of power igniting a storm within him. Fixing a piercing stare on an unseen target, he lets out a chilling, challenging remark, "Oh, you're brave, huh?" Ling Bauer is practically begging Qin Chang'an to chill out, warning him that the ancient Fox sect is no joke and he needs to keep his anger in check. She's practically clinging to him, asking if he has a death wish, but he's not hearing it, his focus locked on anyone who would even think about messing with his daughter. Bauer's face is pure panic as she doubles down on the warning, spelling out that the ancient Fox sect isn't just strong, they've got a straight-up demonic beast backing them up. His eyes are practically lasers, and a blue aura is exploding from his fist, but Qin Chang'an isn't backing down. He's ready to take on anyone, no matter how strong. Staff in hand, he's on the move, announcing he's heading straight for the ancient Fox sect, and if anyone gets in his way, they're toast. His new disciple is totally on board too. A random Fox beastfolk is just watching him walk off, totally confused by this guy's insane confidence. No warning, no hesitation, Qin Chang'an just smashes his staff down, blasting a blonde woman with a brutal hit. Her eyes are bugging out from the shock and pain as she gets rocked by the hit, and the staff just keeps coming. She's sent absolutely flying by the impact, screaming, as a burst of pink and yellow energy explodes around her. Qin Chang'an's staff connects with a devastating blow, sending Baiyu flying back, a raw scream tearing from her as pink energy explodes around her. The sheer impact leaves her reeling, her body screaming as it takes the full force of the attack. His resolve is ironclad, a chilling promise to make them pay for their arrogance. He looms over a battered Ling Bauer, her pink aura flickering out, a terrifying figure, a pure devil in their eyes. Blood streaks from his nose, the raw cost of unleashing the free meridian unblocking power. With Ling Bauer still down, Baiyu charges in, screaming for him to halt the assault. Her face contorted in terror, she's willing to do anything, begging for a shred of mercy. Then, with a final, crushing step, he plants his foot on the staff, a chilling statement of his power. He glares down, his face a mask of stone, remembering the absolute humiliation he suffered all for Hong Yi. A vivid memory flashes, revealing Hong Yi and Bai Yu, once inseparable, their faces radiating pure joy. Back in the present, Chen Chang'an clutches a glowing orb, a power-up from immortal Emperor Ba Su, while he mentally shouts out to Hong Yi and Yuan Yuan for the techniques they gifted him, a silent thanks for their crucial aid. But the memory twists, now showing Hong Yi and Bai Yu in utter despair, their hands clenched in agony. He looms over Ling Baoer, who's still out cold on the ground, a chilling question echoing in the silence. What the heck happened to her? His eyes blaze with fury, his resolve ironclad as he roars, I will never forgive anyone who dares to plot against me again. A gentle, ethereal glow surrounds Ling Bao as she lies motionless, a mysterious voice whispering, you are free. Yuan Yuan drops to her knees beside the fallen girl, her face a mask of pure panic, pleading, big sis, please, wake up. Her worry intensifies into desperation as she grasps the gravity of it all, vowing, it's over, she's shattered. Get her to the sect, I'll find a doctor, no matter what. High above, a dense canopy of green leaves rustles gently in the breeze. As Chen Chang'an, finally finding a moment of peace, muses on the benefit of having another helper. A system prompt then materializes before him, congratulating him for slaying an immortal and awarding him 20,000 field value. His eyes widen in disbelief, a confused sound escaping his lips, as the same message repeats, confirming the unexpected bounty. Then, seeing his total field value now displayed as 240,000, a raw, frustrated curse tears from his throat. Chen Chang'an is absolutely hyped, flashing a massive grin as his system screams, max field value reached. 240,000. Time for an upgrade. He knows this is gonna be huge for expanding his territory, a total game changer. The system's like, yep, maxed out, and he's already thinking about what's next. He hits the brakes, asking the system, can I upgrade to 4.0 now? But the system drops a bombshell, he's gotta expand his invincible domain across the whole Sixian mountain range and become its lord in just 1 month. The system lays out the rules, warning that if he fails, all conditions will be reset. He's putting it all together, upgrade equals Lord of Sixian Mountain, but why the crazy deadline? His face twists in pure shock, yelling, I thought this was free. He throws a fit, flipping off the system, which calmly explains that field value refills by slaying monsters, and while it can autoplay the main story, if he wants the actual upgrade ability, he's gotta do the work himself. The system drops another bombshell, promising access to a secret realm once he conquers the Lord of Feishian Mountain title. And inside this secret realm, ancient Chinese dynasty exercises and legendary magical weapons, just waiting to be claimed. But Chen Chang'an is not happy, a furious shout escaping him as the system dangles a 1,000-meter domain upgrade for a whopping 100,000 field value. Boom! His invincible domain instantly expands by 1,000 meters, leaving him with 99,900 field value. A frustrated groan escapes him, realizing he's gotta grind for more field value, and fast, before his next upgrade attempt. His focus shifts, a cold dread creeping in as he can't sense his senior's aura anywhere. Meanwhile, a dark shadow falls over the legendary Nine-Sword sect. Senior brother, we are here, a desperate voice screams amidst a chaotic battle. The Ghost Bones sect has already taken over the upper realm, and the Nine-Sword sect was their first target, as the terrifying Li Xiao looms over a vulnerable Ling Baoer. But the scene shifts dramatically to the ravaged Nine-Sword sect, where a desperate cry pierces the silence. Her face contorted in pure agony, she screams, a heart-wrenching plea for him to stay alive. An unseen force looms, a chilling reminder of the sheer, terrifying power of those who command a single blade, a power that can crush armies and legends. But her anguish only intensifies, her voice raw with a fresh wave of despair. Reaching out in disbelief, her mind shatters at the sight, how could this be real when Genesis was supposed to be invincible? Suddenly, a figure with a piercing gaze, clutching a glowing talisman, cuts through her despair with a shocking revelation. This entire horrific scene is a mere illusion, a trick of the light woven by his powerful artifact. With the talisman pulsing in his hands, he calmly informs Baoer that their very lives, spared from the immortals, are a testament to his power and a tale for another time. His face, a mask of calculated calm, betrays nothing of the true depths of his intentions. But a dark-haired figure beside him, his loyal subordinate, dares to challenge him, demanding to know what else he could possibly want. Li Xiao drops a bombshell, casually mentioning he's thinking of letting his subordinate bite the dust, which instantly gets a shocked reaction from the dark-haired man. The subordinate quickly backtracks, insisting the immortals are the real target, as Li Xiao coolly thinks to himself, it's fine if they come for him, just not his subordinate. He keeps going, laying out how any accidents need to be predicted, demanding 2 moves ahead. Li Xiao then drops the master plan, ditch the sect's old ways, save everyone first, and set up for a massive comeback later. He dives into the details of his insane illusion, a next-level immortal illusion formation crafted to fool even actual immortals, making it look like he's the one pulling off these mind-bending tricks. Li Xiao tells his subordinate to go with the first plan, because the second one is too wild even for him to handle, and warns them not to blab about any of this. The dark-haired man, clearly stressed about their current mess, points out they're totally screwed without a safe haven, and grimly confirms the Nine-Sword sect is gone, disciples and bones turned to dust, leaving only the lower realm. Holding Ling Bao's hand, Li Xiao calmly tells him, he's got to protect his daughter, it's his duty. With a sly grin, Li Xiao wraps it up, saying if everything goes smoothly, he'll know when the fireworks go off. Ling Bao is seriously stressing, telling the dark-haired man that her master is still way too weak. But the dark-haired man is having none of it, thinking Senior Li Xiao is a total legend for tricking immortals and saving everyone. He's all about the brutal truth, in their world, it's eat or be eaten, and only the toughest make it out alive. He gets that the illusion was flawless, but the actual destruction of their sect still hits hard, a truth that's impossible to just ignore. Clutching a glowing orb, the dark-haired man remembers Li Xiao talking about leaving clues, but he's totally shocked to find them already. Then, it hits him like a truck, a moment of absolute terror. His eyes bug out in pure horror as the orb in his hand explodes with a blinding light, its glow mirroring the absolute shock plastered on his face. Looking totally freaked out, he suddenly remembers something super important, he's got to report to Li Xiao, like, right now. At the same time, a massive, fiery energy blast goes off, shaping into a terrifying beast, its raw power shaking everything. But then, Chen Chang'an just pops up, rocking a confident smirk, and drops the bombshell, the Nine-Sword sect members are totally still alive. He's done it. All functions of the immortal path are now his, and he's got that strategic gleam in his eye. This isn't just some basic disguise, it's a full-on immortal path that can hide and transform his very essence, making it the ultimate tool to fool even the heavenly immortals. With a buzzing hum, he clutches a glowing talisman, realizing this immortal path isn't just about hiding, it's about becoming an immortal, a secret weapon to fool the heavens. This is the ultimate cheat code, the immortal path's deepest secret, and once he's got it down, he'll be able to trick anyone. But wait, a tiny doubt creeps in. Is this really the full solution? Can it actually fool the heavenly immortals, or is there more to uncover? Boom! Out of nowhere, a magnificent, multi-tiered palace just appears amidst swirling clouds. And there he is, on a grand throne, a complex magical array blazing around him, dropping his ultimate strategy. If the old ways won't cut it, he'll just create a whole new immortal path. Safety first, always. Next up, he's got other functional tests on the agenda. Which brings him to a massive hall packed with disciples, all under the banner of the Upper Realm, Wanzhou Holy Heavenly Realm. These disciples, decked out in their fancy white robes and elaborate hair, are standing there, totally silent and reverent. And then, he's holding this small, red bowl with some mysterious liquid, totally ready for the next big move. The red-haired elder confronts Chen Chang'an, demanding to know if this she is truly enough to aid his immortal path. A quick cut to Chen Chang'an's epic robes, then bam, a desolate landscape flashes into view, and a chilling voice taunts, "Are you all wiped out by the immortal slayer?" The vision explodes. A lone figure is absolutely swarmed by glowing attacks, the air practically screaming with power as a furious voice yells, "Bastard!" Back to reality, Chen Chang'an's robes practically glow in the opulent hall. A flicker of pure rage crosses his face. But the red-haired elder just shrugs it off, declaring Chen Chang'an's immortal path is too flawless, too unreal, a fake that's actually protected by the freaking heavenly Tao. A confident smirk spreads across the elder's face as he vows to personally crush this ant of a threat. He doubles down, calling Chen Chang'an's path a fake, even with all the heavenly laws around it, then boasts about his own perfect immortal path and offers to wipe out both the ant and some hiding guy. Clinking his glass, the elder gives Chen Chang'an a sly look, admitting he's glad his brother Chang'an didn't just obliterate them all, because where's the fun in that, right? He knows Chang'an is a god. Ding! A new challenger appears, radiating pure, unadulterated beauty. Her golden locks and ethereal presence are absolutely captivating. With skin like ice and bones like jade, Fairy Yueying's beauty is legendary, absolutely unmatched in the entire immortal world. Seriously, just looking at her is a blessing. But don't let the beauty fool you. Her eyes snap open with a fierce red glow, and she cuts straight to the chase, demanding, "Noisy. I'm here to borrow an immortal tree. Check out this serene courtyard, totally chill with a massive, fruit-covered tree dominating the scene and some classic buildings in the background." Meanwhile, Ling Bao is totally going at it, giving Chen Chang'an a massage, and she's like, "Master, is this strength okay?" He's totally digging it, thinking how awesome it is to have an apprentice like her. But his mind's already racing, like, where's Xiaobao? He's so slow. And then he's thinking Bao is too weak to even help him fish, remembering she talked about the evil dragon cavern and bringing him back as a pet fish. Ling Bao just nods, totally focused on her job, just wanting to help her master with the massage, hee. Back to the peaceful courtyard, that awesome fruit tree still looking epic, giving us a quick breather before things get real. Elsewhere in the garden, Bai Yu is having a serious talk with the red-haired woman, confessing she messed up big time, not only failing their master's task but also losing the master to her. Still reeling from her epic failure, she can't shake the crushing weight of losing their master. How could she have been so utterly useless, begging for the power she desperately needed? The agony is real, a silent, desperate plea for more power. This failure is literally killing her, her anguished cries tearing through the silence. But then her mind snaps to her master and Miss Bauer, praying they're somehow okay. Switching scenes to the epic immortal temple, Ling Bauer is hyped to welcome back the red-haired woman. The red-haired woman takes it all in, her gaze intense and full of thought. With her adorable fox ears and tail now visible, Ling Bauer snuggles up to the red-haired woman, who gives her a comforting pat. Fox-eared Bao happily devours her snack, casually mentioning her master was probably super worried. Shen Chang'an, chilling with Ling Bao and the red-haired woman, is totally over it, declaring he's not punishing anyone this time around. The red-haired woman lets out a soft ah, and Ling Bauer, blushing a bit, asks if he's still stuck on that. He's like, totally, ranting about his weak body and how unfair it is that other traversers are living it up while he's stuck feeling like a total loser. He keeps going, demanding to know why he, a traverser, has to deal with this mess, and if this is his cosmic payback for even thinking about his master. He pauses, a quiet moment as he ponders if the punishment is finally over. His eyes sharpen, lips set in a firm line, he's totally locked in on figuring out how to get that perfect physique. Suddenly, a system window pops up right in front of him, flashing a daily quest with a ticking clock. He sees it, realizing he can totally make a clone, but only if he's got enough time left. A mischievous grin lights up his face, he's got a whole month left, which is plenty of time to whip up that clone. Another system alert flashes, confirming that daily quest for an immortal clone is still active, with a solid 29 days left on the clock. His eyes blaze with intense, determined energy. He's over the heavy perspective of his current grind, thinking a light perspective is the real game changer. He's totally convinced he's about to crack the code, this is the real solution, no doubt. Taking a beat to let it sink in. But then he's like, wait, what am I even doing out here? Before the light bulb goes off, the system can make a clone. That feeling hits again, he's totally on the right path, this is the real deal. He's tapping into the system's power, knowing it holds the key to the immortal clone's true path, even if he's still clueless on how to actually make it happen. And then, it clicks. He's got it. The system is the key to the immortal clone, and he's gonna use it. He's going for the proper, 21st century clone creation method, unleashing a one-wing finger with a powerful swish. But then, the floor beneath him just explodes, a massive kaboom as he's sent free-falling. The ground shatters, and everyone present is absolutely stunned, their faces a mix of disbelief and pure panic. But Chang'an? He's totally unaware of the destruction, grinning like a maniac. He's thanking the system, convinced he's found the ultimate cheat code for his powers. Then, his focus shifts, and he locks onto Bauer, a serious, almost intense look on his face. He tells her to chill out, that she can't bite off more than she can chew, then drops the bomb, he's gonna teach her a sword technique, telling her to pay close attention to the sword art of. Suddenly, a dazzling vision of the technique appears, a powerful figure showcasing the sword of Heavenly Emperor and Empress, each move radiating insane energy. Chang'an, beaming with pride, announces that with his guidance, Bauer is finally going to master this epic sword art. He's totally committed to making her an unstoppable sword master, absolutely refusing to let her stay a weakling. His imagination runs wild, picturing the ultimate peerless swordsman, two incredible female warriors radiating pure power and elegance. Then, the view changes to an epic, ancient building, with Fairy Yueying watching, and a voice drops a bombshell. In a world of immortal emperors, there's a legendary sword art held by Tungwen. Fairy Yueying, radiating power, drops a bombshell. She's going to store her soul in the immortal fruit and hand it over. She then asks if he's in, making the dark-haired man visibly sweat and confess he has no clue what she's talking about. But then, a crucial message hits him, everything he wants is in the lower realm, and that's all he needs to know. With a fierce gaze, Fairy Yueying drops another bombshell. That annoying immortal Saint Wu swiped her heavenly mirror, and she needs to track down the person who also owns the immortal tree. A swift whoosh and a satisfied smile from her, followed by a quick thanks, confirm his agreement. But the clock is ticking, the old ancestor's time is almost up, meaning a desperate dash to the lower realm for that immortal fruit is now a top priority. Over the next few days, Ling Bauer goes absolutely wild, smashing through the first layer of the field value and snagging a sweet reward for her host. And just like that, she keeps climbing, obliterating the second layer and netting another 100 field value for her host. But wait, there's a rumbling in the air as the host himself levels up, blasting through the first layer of the field value, and grabbing a 100 field value reward. Suddenly, a fresh field prompt pops up right in front of his base, telling him to check it out. The rumbling gets louder as Ling Bauer keeps her insane pace, crushing the third layer of the field value and snagging yet another reward. Then, with a satisfying click, she absolutely demolishes the fourth layer of the field realm, earning her host another 100 field value. Watching her insane talent, the host sees her blast through the fifth layer in just days, and knows he can totally count on her to pump up that field value even more. But as Ling Bao hits the sixth layer, he's totally fed up, yelling at the system for more info on this function, and boom, it hits him with a new task. He just got some epic news, a fresh system task, and a cryptic reminder to stay true to his original mission. While he's still processing, Fairy Yueying pops up, offering to whisk Miss Bauer away. She's totally freaking out, wondering if he sees her as a total burden, her heart pounding like crazy. He lets out a sudden cough, and she immediately worries about him. He quickly checks a system message, revealing a brand new, mandatory task: investigate the mysterious field right outside his base. No backing out now. Giving a confident thumbs up, he's totally ready to tackle this new challenge. Elsewhere, the red-haired woman is totally bummed about her slow progress, wondering how she'll ever keep up with her master, who's just chugging immortal pills. Then, bam. A lightning-fast red energy attack explodes with a sharp snap, totally catching her off guard. Ling Bauer, absolutely radiating with a dazzling white and pink aura, rockets upwards, her immense power stunning the red-haired woman and Baiyu into silence. The sheer force of Bauer's breakthrough sends shockwaves, and Baiyu, clearly worried, checks on Chang'an, asking if he's okay. Elsewhere, the red-haired woman and the dark-haired man are totally captivated by the spectacle, the man wondering what that blinding white light is, especially with all the weird laughter reports they've been getting. Bauer, absolutely radiating with power, boldly announces she's heading straight to Yunzhou. The red-haired woman, watching the ascending powerhouse, demands to go with her, vowing to stay in the temple and protect her body. And just like that, with an explosive surge, Bauer rockets upwards, blazing with intense orange-yellow energy. She absolutely tears through the sky, leaving a blinding, fiery path behind her. Down below, the lanterns of a majestic, ancient structure flicker, their soft glow cutting through the deepening dusk. Night falls, and the temple goes silent, its vibrant red lanterns burning bright. But inside, someone asks the master what's up, because the master, who'd been high on immortal pills for days, just exploded in a fit of rage. A monstrous, red-skinned being, with wild green hair and eyes blazing with emerald fire, hunches in a dark abyss, its form crackling with raw, manic power. It lets out a chilling cackle, screaming about its newfound immortality and the thousands of years it waited for this moment. Then, with an earth-shattering clatter, this terrifying entity explodes from its crumbling prison, rocketing into the sky. A searing trail of purple and yellow energy rips through the air as it blasts towards the heavenly dragon mountains, its target locked. Boom 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 boom. A barrage of devastating explosions rips through the ground below, green and red energy tearing the very earth apart. The destruction escalates into a colossal, blinding blast of yellow and red energy, consuming everything. And from the heart of the inferno, a chilling declaration rings out: I'm coming to kill you kakakaka chin Chang'an. From a high balcony, the dark-haired man and Fairy Yueying are totally buzzing about the recent events, like, whoa, was that guy who took down Li Ling really the master's disciple? And Fairy Yueying is like, yep, the young master's power is absolutely insane. Meanwhile, Ling Bauer, the red-haired woman, and another orange-haired woman are all looking super worried. And Ling Bauer is totally freaking out, asking if that's really the master's body, and hoping he won't find out about her plans. Then, she turns to Chen Chang'an and drops a bombshell: sister, I've got a bold idea. Meanwhile, in a completely different place, the epic, jagged peaks of Ghost Island are just chilling there, looking mysterious. Chen Chang'an is looking totally wiped out, thinking about how his power just faded away again, and he's like, ugh, I must be miles from Feishin Mountain. Strolling through the forest, he's just complaining about everything, no idea what's going on, where the master is, totally drained, and to top it off, he can't even leave footprints. But wait, Ling Bauer, now with awesome glowing purple hair, is totally locked in, ready to find the master and figure out how to get back. Her hair now a fierce purple, Ling Bauer stares down at the tiny figure, who dares to call her a cat demon, as she playfully promises immediate retribution. She rises, proclaiming that justice will be served and his naughty days are done, as he fires back, calling her both horrible and great, secretly cursing his own soft heart. Her face contorts in fury, snapping at him for daring to stand there and talk back. Peeking from the bushes, Chen Chang'an can't hide his utter shock, muttering about how heavy in taste cultivators have become. Ling Bauer, absolutely furious, launches herself skyward, screaming for them to eat her fist. She slams into the cultivators, her glowing fists exploding with raw power, shattering even the defenses of Golden Core realm experts. Chen Chang'an, sporting a new bandage, coolly examines a plant, thinking, catgirls outnumbered? Perfect. Time for me to bail and power up. One last look at the mayhem, then he's gone. Ling Bauer's rampage continues, her devastating strike sending another foe flying. The fight explodes as Ling Bauer goes all out, a surge of green energy erupting from her, blasting the cultivators back with raw, untamed force. But Chen Chang'an isn't just watching, he's calculating, his mind racing as he takes in the sheer power on display and what it means for his own path. He can't help but feel frustrated, thinking about how other traversers get to live it up, while he's stuck feeling like a sacrificial lamb because of his body. She's not holding back. The purple-haired powerhouse keeps pushing, her sheer presence overwhelming the cultivators, leaving them gasping for air. But then, the scene shifts. Chang'an is holding a tiny, pink-haired Ling Bauer, who's crying her eyes out, clearly drained after unleashing all that power. His face hardens with resolve, he knows he's got to figure out how to power her up, fast. Still sniffling, she just wants to be a normal kid, wishing she didn't have to deal with all this fighting. He's totally thrown by her words. Is she really giving up, or is there something else going on with her? Elsewhere, the hooded figures are buzzing, freaking out about the young master's situation and the arrival of some seriously powerful cultivators. After a tense rescue, Chen Chang'an found himself face to face with a transformed Ling Bauer, now a tiny, pink-haired catgirl, who defiantly demanded, "Enough. Get out of my way." With a tiny meow, her voice echoed with unexpected resolve, "We will definitely be back." Cradling the adorable, transformed girl, Chen Chang'an declared, "I'm glad I was able to save you from those scumbags. From now on, you're my cat, meow." The newly dubbed Ah Meow, with a determined meow, pledged, "Senior, Meow was rescued by you. From now on, Meow is your cat till her death, meow." But Chen Chang'an wasn't ready for that commitment. But she wasn't giving up, pushing, "If you don't want to, then I can be your cat, meow." He stared, utterly baffled, "Are you crazy? Do you know what you're saying? Do you even know what a pet is?" Her conviction unshakable, she vowed, "I'll do whatever you want." He immediately shut it down, "Don't say that." Her tiny face looked up, pushing, "How is it? You have to take me first." He stammered, "Senior, I." He laid down the law, "It's not about whether I want to or not. It's about whether you're willing to be my pet, meow." As he started to leave, the little catgirl followed, her voice tinged with concern, "Am I leaving you behind and ending the contract?" Meow. A bald monk, forehead marked with a mysterious symbol, flashes a chilling smirk. His eyes burn with triumph as he announces, "Miss Meow, the poor monk has finally found you. This is not good." His hand, draped in prayer beads, extends with an ominous reach, ready to seize his prey. Flying high above the Ghost State sect, a new player bursts onto the scene, introducing himself as Chen Chang'an. But back at base, two others are already judging him, asking why he's so weak and how it's been ages since they saw such a pathetic cultivator. The pink-haired girl even flexes her golden cord cultivation, rubbing in his face that she's stronger even though he's been here forever. Then, out of nowhere, a massive red energy blast hits, with a loud, PFFT sound effect. Chang'an is totally caught off guard, his face screaming what the F***ck just happened. The pink-haired girl snaps at him not to stare at her daughter like that, then asks if he's a cultivator or a demon, because his vibe is totally off. Turns out, he got messed up by demonic beasts that snuck into the young master's room. But even with those injuries, Chang'an's eyes blaze with power, as he unleashes the immortal golden core realm, proving he's no pushover. He makes a daring escape, Ling Bauer in tow, shouting his farewell as the Ghost State's cultivation proves to be way too intense. But Ling Bauer isn't buying it, questioning how he can be her master if he can't even take down a single demon beast. He just coolly responds that he's just keeping his power on the down low. He then drops the bomb, he hasn't even made her his disciple yet, so no master title for him. And then he flips the script, asking why she'd send him on a death mission to Yunzhou. A distraught Ling Bauer begs him not to ditch her, terrified she'll get absolutely crushed if he leaves her to face demon beasts alone. After she promises to handle all his needs, he grudgingly agrees to let her tag along, and she's super hyped, confirming she'll totally take care of her master. He playfully jabs at her about her fiancé, hot on their heels, then drops a classic line, "In my experience, women are nothing but trouble." Ling Bao spills the tea, sect rules mean she'd be forced to marry the young master if she couldn't find a fiancé, but now that she has him as her master, she's totally off the hook. He brushes off her words as kidding hair, but she's dead serious, telling him she's not kidding. Then, out of nowhere, a massive rumbling shakes everything. Still absolutely glowing with that insane purple immortal golden core energy, he's just standing there, disciple right next to him. And bam! The source of all that rumbling? He's got some bald monk by the head, while the others are just freaking out. Meet one Xin, the mysterious monk. His disciple is like, "Wait, how do these guys know you?" But the real scoop is, these are the temple guardians, the ones keeping this whole region in check. He's laying down the law to Wan Xian and the other monks, telling them exactly what's going to happen next. But his disciple? She's still totally confused, like, what is even happening right now? She's still pushing him for answers, super worried, while he just makes this open hand gesture. He's like, alright, 1xin, you're up. Lead the way. New adventure, here we come. His disciple just watches him, looking all thoughtful and a little bit annoyed. A cryptic system interface flashes, revealing a partial message, detected the reincarnated son of. And a bunch of test content data. Then, another screen pops up, listing title, genre, tags, and alias Manhwa, with a wild theory about Jan, all before a wait command flashes. Back in the real world, Ling Bao is practically glued to Chen Chang'an's arm, shouting her refusal to move, but he just lets out a weary sigh, totally used to her drama. But a hostile crowd quickly forms around them, their jeers growing louder, labeling him arrogant and even calling for a stretcher, totally underestimating him. Then, one guy, with his eyes literally burning red, just smirks and calls him a little golden goose. He keeps up the insults, shouting that he has no right to speak and just needs to roll. Ling Bao, totally freaking out, asks Chen Chang'an what he's doing, warning him he'll get pummeled if he's broke, even asking if he's worse than a dog. He just turns to her, a hint of irritation on his face, and asks if she wants him to foot the bill, then drops the mic by saying they're all just ants to him. The crowd absolutely loses it, bursting into laughter, with one guy loudly boasting they're arrogant white people and others whispering about the prince's son. The bald monk, 1xin, points a finger, his voice dripping with a challenge, arrogant. You're about to get way more than you asked for. Then, with a chilling command, he barks, take him out. Instantly, a massive, pulsating energy beast erupts, its glowing tendrils striking out to overwhelm Chen Chang'an, but he just stands there, completely unbothered. But the attack just vanishes around him, leaving him completely unharmed, a subtle blue glow hinting at his power as he stands there, the threat utterly erased. Then, a system notification pops up, sealing the deal, host killed a cultivator of Peak QI Massage Soul Realm. 2,000 gold coins acquired. 1xin and the other cultivators are absolutely stunned, their jaws practically on the floor at this insane display of power. Chang'an just glances down, a thought of pure contempt flashing through his mind, while Bauer looks on, her face a mask of concern. 1xin, pulling himself together, tries to smooth things over, whoa, calm down. You're powerful, but you're still a good guy. I'll handle this whole mess with the sect. Chen Chang'an locks onto a swirling vortex, his gaze sharp with intrigue. This isn't just any vortex, it's an immortal artifact, a bowl with the power to summon a Buddha's real body, a devastating entity from the upper realms. Unfazed, he turns to 1xin, who clutches the artifact, casually questioning the true power it holds. But then, the bowl erupts with raw power, manifesting the real body of a Buddha, a colossal, furious face tearing through the swirling energy. The massive, glowing Buddha's body fully materializes, unleashing a deafening roar that rips through reality. 1xin, hands blazing with dark energy, snarls at Chen Chang'an, all pretense of peace shattered as he screams for his death. Screaming, Buddha palm, 1xin unleashes the colossal entity's attack, but before it can connect, Chen Chang'an ignites his own power, a golden glow erupting from his hand. From his palm, a magnificent golden dragon-like entity explodes forth, coiling and surging with unimaginable spiritual energy. The golden dragon unleashes a piercing screech, its power colliding violently with the summoned Buddha in a devastating counterattack. An absolute inferno explodes, swallowing everything in a cataclysmic blaze. 1xin, now a blazing figure within the firestorm, screams his terrifying vow, I'll destroy the world and all the people in it. But his destructive ambition is instantly dwarfed by Chen Chang'an's counterattack. A colossal golden dragon erupts above the inferno, its sheer, terrifying power making everyone wonder if a real, ancient dragon has just been unleashed. The golden entity, absolutely radiating raw power, fully materializes, its sheer presence warping reality itself. Absolutely crushed by the dragon's overwhelming might, 1xin lets out a primal scream of agony and utter despair, as the crushing realization hits him, he's failed again. Then, a thunderous boom rips through the air, signaling the explosive, earth-shattering climax of their epic battle. As the dust clears over the utterly annihilated landscape, the golden dragon stands victorious, an undeniable force of nature, its powers so god-tier that even the strongest cultivators are nothing but specks of dust, solidifying Chen Chang'an's legendary status as a true dragon. After absolutely obliterating the reincarnated sun and snagging an ancient red dragon as a bonus, Chen Chang'an dives straight into his system interface, ready to check out his insane new haul. He stares at the insane numbers, blown away by how much he's raked in, especially from that ancient dragon he'd been chilling with. He's hyped to find another ancient dragon, but then a tiny bit bummed when he realizes it's just the soul, meaning only a treasure chest instead of the whole beast. He then turns to Ling Bao, casually asking for a favor since he just fixed her biggest headache. Inside again, he checks the system, and his face gets super serious, muttering about that not very good situation, which Bao immediately picks up on. Her eyes are huge with worry, and she just repeats his words, totally freaked out by what's going on. Strolling away from the building, he asks why she's so quiet, and she just says his name, still totally in her head. Bai Yu, looking absolutely stunned, turns to the fox-eared girl, demanding to know if he's actually vanished. But Ling Bao is absolutely livid, her pink buns practically vibrating with rage, vowing that next time is her turn, and she'll never let him steal her moment again. She's already hyped for the next round. The fox-eared girl, though, just sighs dramatically, confessing she's not sure how much more she can take, knowing they have to clean up this mess before the master gets back. Then, out of nowhere, dark, chaotic energy explodes into the heavens, ripped apart by terrifying blue lightning. This raw power then twists and morphs, taking the terrifying, shadowy shape of a dragon, its very presence crackling with pure, destructive energy. Both Ling Bao and the fox-eared girl stare up in sheer terror, the fox-eared girl gasping about the overwhelming pressure and admitting this is seriously bad news. Just as the dragon takes shape, a gigantic, ancient blade slams down from the sky, ripping through the air with devastating force. This is not good. Down below, a mustached elder, crackling with blue energy, gives a grim nod, then scoffs, lamenting that old man Liang Jingyu has messed up again. What a total letdown. He then declares they should go hunt down the guy hiding in the forest, and the bald monk next to him totally agrees, adding that the elders of the 6 orders are going to pay big for helping him out. After the last epic blast, Chen Chang'an was left in a blizzard of ice shards, a quiet, barely audible as he processed the residual power. He stared up, his gaze following the fading magic across the massive sky, a silent challenge in his eyes. Elsewhere, a white-haired fox-eared girl freaked out, her voice shaking as she screamed, "What is that? It's terrifying." With her green eyes wide, she couldn't help but wonder, is this power truly limitless? Ling Bao, with her crew, laid down the law, the heavenly demon ancient fox sect is seniors now, so let's go find him. Meanwhile, a monstrous, shadowy dragon, crackling with insane purple energy, plunged from the sky, its raw power shaking the very foundations of the world. From the blood-red sky, a storm of glowing red arrows erupted, leaving fiery destruction in their wake. Below, a massive, dark fortress loomed against the blood-red horizon, engulfed in the terrifying glow of the impending doom. Suddenly, a demonic figure with blazing red eyes burst forth, its voice echoing like thunder across the wasteland. This is what the whole world fears, right? Stinker Chen Chang'an, get your ass out here. The monstrous demonic figure lets out a terrifying roar, its multiple eyes blazing with pure evil. But Ling Bao, caught off guard, demands to know who dared to cross it, as the demon, absolutely furious, screams about crushing the hooligan in its way. Its crimson eyes flare even brighter, and a clawed hand crackles with dark energy, poised to strike. The demon unleashes a devastating torrent of swirling red energy, swallowing Ling Bao whole. She's completely swallowed by the violent magical storm. But then, an uncontrollable surge of evil spirit flow erupts from within her, and a golden aura explodes around her, a power she's never felt. With a defiant scream, her eyes now burning red, she unleashes a massive golden energy burst, blasting the demon back in pure shock. The demon, momentarily stunned, quickly recovers, boasting about its immortal body and threatening to sacrifice her to become the ultimate evil dragon of the 9 heavens. But Ling Bao, her body now completely out of control, strikes back with a golden sword, her red eyes blazing as she slams into the shocked demon. Unleashing a golden explosion of power, Ling Bao rockets skyward, snatching the golden sword and boldly claiming it as her own. Slamming the golden blade down with raw power, she smashes into the demon, who roars in fury as the attack detonates on impact. But the demon's not down for long, instantly seizing control of the evil dragon cauldron's raw energy, leaving Bao reeling and confused as he snarls that she can't just steal his power. He lunges, clamping down on her, squeezing the breath from her lungs as his dark power crushes her spirit. But then, a searing crimson blast rips through the air, slamming into the demon's back and shattering his hold. The demon stumbles, caught off guard by the ambush, as the fiery red-haired woman mocks him, still the old guy, Kaka, announcing her arrival. Then, a whirlwind of powerful female warriors, the white-haired woman, the blonde, Bai Yu, and Fairy Yueying, descend upon the demon, encircling him in a blinding storm of combined power. But even surrounded, the demon's eyes blaze with pure malice, promising to unleash a lesson in true destruction. And as the chaos erupts, Ling Bao's eyes burn with fierce red energy, her golden aura still blazing, ready to dive back into the fight with renewed, unstoppable determination. Ling Bao, still radiating golden power, faces down the demonic entity whose eyes blaze with malevolent intent. He's not just after her, he's coming for Chen Chang'an too. Unleashing a torrent of dark energy, the demon strikes with a furious, red-tinged assault. But across the battlefield, the white-haired fox spirit isn't backing down. She's rallying her squad, shouting for them to group up. With a fierce, unwavering stare, she barks a command for the demon to fall back. But the real shocker? Ling Bao is the one standing over the fallen demon, her eyes now a terrifying red. And her words are even more chilling, Master Chen Chang'an, I will eat him and his body to get stronger. Meanwhile, a serious-looking man with a mustache is watching the whole thing go down, fuming about how this green-haired evil ghost has been allowed to rampage, turning entire regions into hellscapes. Back to the action, the demon's face twists into a mask of absolute rage, his eyes flaring as he screams, "He is the devil from hell." The white-haired woman, with her crew, drives home the urgency, declaring they have to stop him, or the whole world is toast. She charges ahead, her allies right behind her, crying out for the 9 swords to help them take down these insane powerhouses. Crushed but not broken, the demonic figure's mind races, fixated on the green-haired evil ghost, a terrifying entity whose immortal power demands universal worship. His body, still crackling with raw, crimson energy, lies utterly defeated. A snarl of agony and disbelief contorts his face, the humiliation burning deep. Elsewhere, the red-haired woman, her fox ears flattened in worry, realizes her spirit sense is completely jammed, a futile effort against the overwhelming chaos. Not far, Chen Chang'an is down, utterly incapacitated, a voice revealing that not only the green-haired evil ghost but countless other evil spirits are holding everyone hostage. And the green-haired evil ghost? It just bailed mid-battle. The demonic figure's eyes ignite with pure, unadulterated rage, screaming inside, "Impossible. How could I, the great elder of the evil dragon cavern, lose to a junior?" as an unseen voice declares his foe the undisputed strongest slayer on the entire continent. His monstrous, clawed feet, still pulsing with dark energy, are a stark reminder of his true, terrifying form. Then, with a sharp humph, a foot slams down, pinning his defeated hand. Pinned and utterly humiliated, the demonic figure's glowing red eyes burn with a final, taunting thought: Chen Chang'an is still nowhere to be found, even after all this chaos. Still utterly crushed, the demonic figure glares up with pure dread and fury as the white-haired woman closes in, her presence dominating the entire space. Her pristine white robes billow around her, a stark contrast to his grotesque, clawed feet, a brutal display of their power difference. A demonic figure, all red skin and glowing eyes, has the white-haired woman in his grasp, scoffing at the weak creatures around them and questioning if this whole situation is Chen Chang'an's doing. But the white-haired woman is in total despair, crying out that he promised to be afraid of her, so she can't face him directly, as the demonic figure vows to track down Chen Chang'an and make sure he can't get away. Suddenly, the red-haired woman lunges forward, begging her not to leave, desperate to pull her friend from the clutches of evil. She clutches the white-haired woman close, revealing that a Fox sect immortal has already bowed to Senior, but the white-haired woman screams back, choosing death over betraying her master. Fighting against the red-haired woman's hold, she desperately cries out to be released. She tries to bargain, telling the red-haired woman to just let her go, forget about a new body, because she'll just go find another soul leader herself. The demonic figure observes the whole scene, letting out a contemptuous humph, while the white-haired woman averts her eyes, her destiny hanging in the balance. The demonic figure snarls, calling out her deception and ordering her to open up. But she screams back, a defiant "No," as the system flashes a critical warning: she's at death's door. Even as pain racks her body, she shouts her resolve, choosing death over disappointing her senior. Then, with a terrifying surge of red and blue power, the demonic figure's hand slams into her. Blood explodes from her chest, the attack landing with brutal force. A massive, blinding yellow energy blast erupts. And the destructive power just keeps growing, swallowing her whole. Reeling from the brutal assault, the white-haired woman screams, her face a mask of agony as blood splatters across her cheek. Trapped in the demonic figure's iron grip, she fights back, a desperate cry for her senior tearing through the air as crimson energy swirls around them. Her eyes, burning with tears and defiance, lock onto Chen Chang'an, another desperate senior ripped from her throat. Then, from the depths, Chen Chang'an steps forward, his voice a chilling calm, telling her to fear nothing, that he'll handle it all, and to simply take a good night's sleep. The demonic figure, his crimson eyes blazing, locks onto the newcomer, a guttural snarl escaping him as he declares, "Enough. I'll take care of this fucker now." But despite his words, a cataclysmic wave of crimson energy explodes from the demonic figure, surging with raw, destructive power. With a primal roar, the demonic figure unleashes the full, unholy force of his attack, screaming, "Die." The overwhelming energy slams into the white-haired woman, her body twisting and breaking under the sheer, crushing force. Swallowed whole by the destructive aura, she lets out one last, gut-wrenching scream as the attack utterly consumes her. Still reeling from the devastating energy blast, she screams as the demonic figure unleashes a relentless barrage, its blade-like attacks ripping through reality. Each brutal strike sending her flying, the sheer force of the assault pushing her to her absolute limit. A monstrous roar tears through the air, the demonic figure's rage boiling over. Its colossal leg slams down, a terrifying display of scale as Chen Chang'an stares up at the behemoth. "Eat you! Eat you!" the creature howls, its red aura exploding with ravenous intent. Chen Chang'an stands his ground, his eyes locked onto the terrifying entity. Then, with a sickening crunch, the demonic figure's hand closes around the white-haired woman, her desperate scream swallowed by its grip. It begins to channel an unspeakable power, a crimson vortex of energy, a soul-refining technique meant to annihilate thousands into one ultimate attack. The sheer, raw power of its flaring mana is absolutely insane, a forbidden demon realm technique unleashed for total devastation. The demonic figure's crimson aura explodes, cranking up that soul-refining technique to 11, a chilling command ripping through the very air. In a flash of pure brutality, it lands a devastating blow, taunting its prey with a chilling challenge. The white-haired woman screams as the relentless assault shreds her, crimson slashes ripping across her body. Every hit draws more blood, her agonizing screams echoing as that demonic energy just devours her. From afar, Chen Chang'an and the blonde woman are glued to the horrifying spectacle, the blonde woman barely able to breathe out how truly evil this demon is. The technique's power just keeps spreading, a one-screen landscape now choked by swirling red particles, a terrifying display of its all-consuming might. The demonic figure's voice booms, a bone-chilling invitation to the white-haired woman, making it clear her very essence is being consumed. Completely overwhelmed, she collapses, her body giving into the relentless, soul-devouring energy that just swirls around her. As the technique hits its terrifying peak, her eyes blaze with a malevolent red glow, and intricate crimson markings erupt across her skin, a horrifying transformation is complete. The white-haired woman lets out a piercing scream, her body contorting as the demonic figure's red refining technique relentlessly drains her power. The demonic figure's taunts cut through the air, a chilling declaration of intent, daring her to rise as the ultimate rival it's always wanted. It savors every moment of her agony, demanding to witness her despair as she falls, all while Chang'an and the blonde woman can only look on, helpless witnesses to the terror. A sudden thought flashes through the demonic figure's mind, a spark of recognition, hinting at a past connection or a familiar power it's seen before. With a chilling declaration, the demonic figure vows to finish her, its technique now perfectly tuned for destruction. It lets out a triumphant cry, recognizing her true form as an anthropomorphic, white-haired fox, as her transformation accelerates under the brutal attack. The blonde woman can't believe the demonic figure's audacity, her voice filled with outrage, as a nearby general-like figure simply shakes his head at the unfolding, dark destiny. But inside, the demonic figure is reeling, sensing immense power and the crushing realization that it's trapped, unable to escape this place, surrounded by the overwhelming aura of human immortal realm immortals. Then, the white-haired woman's transformation explodes into its second stage, her eyes blazing with an eerie green glow, leaving Chang'an utterly stunned, questioning what terrifying monster she's becoming, a sight he's never seen. The white-haired woman is still trapped, writhing under the demonic figure's brutal, red refining technique, as raw energy and lightning tear through her. But the demon itself is losing control, its face twisting in pure rage as it senses the terrifying, human immortal realm immortals, and screams in frustration at an invisible wall. It pushes its dark ritual to the absolute, ninth stage, roaring that it will break through or die trying. Meanwhile, deadly energy spikes impale the white-haired woman, making the blonde woman question if she had succeeded. A sharp, choked gasp rips from Chen Chang'an, his face a mask of pure disbelief. The demonic figure, completely unconcerned, lets out a chilling, triumphant laugh, proclaiming the transformation complete and utterly beautiful, as the white-haired woman's eyes blaze with an unnatural green. Witnessing this, Chen Chang'an snaps into action, declaring he'll save her no matter what. But his resolve is instantly shattered as the dreaded, human immortal realm immortals, are invoked again, their very name making him scream in anguish. He charges forward, a desperate plea tearing from his throat, refusing to let her fall. A group of adorable, animal-eared disciples bows down to Chen Chang'an, one of them dropping some serious wisdom: if a man's a prince, his woman's a princess. If he's a dragon, she's a phoenix. It's just facts. Another disciple then chimes in, shouting thanks to the senior for a spiritual pill that's gonna help them break through. Everyone's hyped. With congratulations pouring in, Chen Chang'an just takes it all in, a deep look on his face. He's thinking, nah, getting constantly clobbered isn't the sixth immortal's style. A true lord cuts to the chase, gets things done. Gazing upwards, he realizes the world is way bigger than he thought, stretching far beyond his current limits. Suddenly, a stunning blonde fox demon is by his side, pointing out that all the big-shot teachers are too busy to even see you, let alone give advice. She thinks it's way better to just ask the sixth immortal directly. She then ponders if the sixth immortal is some kind of super special, ancient fox demon, and whether it's fear or pure love, she's totally falling for him. He's already plotting, seeing the blonde fox demon as a key piece in his grand scheme to dominate the 100,000 mountains and ascend to the upper realm of the immortals. But even with all his power, he's still just one of many traversers, and the pressure of becoming the sixth immortal is immense. He has to find a way to complete his destiny. So, with a flash of insight, he unleashes the salted fish system. And just like that, the sky explodes with a cosmic light show. Catching his eye with a gasp. Is this it? Is he about to become like the legendary Mirror Moon, finally unleashed? The system's cryptic message flashes: the fifth immortal is a fallen legend, and to ascend, he must jump into the river and become a fish. What does it all mean? But he's not deterred. Even at the salted fish traversal system can hold incredible power, and he's ready to unlock it. The first stage ignites, a shimmering orb forming with a tiny fish-like creature within. Then, in a burst of light, it evolves into its second stage, sprouting wings and becoming a bird. And just like that, a tiny, glowing fish appears in his hand, making him grin. It's adorable. Chen Chang'an can't help but grin as his system lights up, confirming a massive domain function upgrade. 50,000 field value gone, but in return, a brand new skill just dropped, special effect full screen. The system's ethereal glow pulses around him, confirming the epic new ability. Domain function 4.0 is officially online, and the system is screaming about special effect full screen being unlocked. But he's thinking, seriously, special effect full screen? What kind of useless function is this, even if a dedicated host for pretending is worth having? But hey, he figures, every new feature is intriguing, and he'll totally study it later. Right now, there's one more crucial thing to handle. Suddenly, a powerful vision or memory hits him, showing him with his crew, the fiery red-haired woman, the mysterious white-haired woman, and the elegant blonde, as a dark-haired figure looms, and a voice booms, "You still don't know your own strength, do you? You're the only one who can take down the heavenly demon." Another desperate shout echoes, "No. Give it up." The vision shifts to a desolate landscape, their faces grim with a mix of worry and resolve. Snapping back to reality, Chen Chang'an pulls up the full menu of his salted fish traversal system, checking out all the unlocked functions: salt fish traversal, fish to bird, mirror moon traversal, immortal traversal, and even heavenly demon traversal. He's in some kind of ethereal realm, and one question burns in his mind: "Master, are you still here?" But then, reality hits. His companions are all there, staring down at him, the red-haired woman, the white-haired woman, and the blonde woman, their faces etched with worry. He's still out of it, but he hears the red-haired woman's voice, soft and comforting, "You can keep sleeping." Suddenly, the blonde woman's voice snaps him awake, demanding, "Oh, you wake up." The white-haired woman is hyped, declaring, "Perfect. Time to send him to the heavenly demon arena and blow everyone away." Two new figures, a dark-haired man and woman, watch the scene unfold. He pushes himself up, head spinning, a torrent of confused questions flooding his mind. What's going on? Didn't I just fight catfish? And why am I so dizzy? Where's Ah Miao? The blonde woman just grins, dropping a casual bombshell. "Oh, just some competition. Go have some fun." He's finally awake, and now he's in a fancy, open-air carriage, speeding along with his whole crew and those two new faces, the world blurring by. He stares out, a thoughtful look on his face, watching the world fly by. The carriage pulls up to an absolutely massive arena, buzzing with energy, a huge banner screaming, "Welcome to the biggest Great Chaos Tournament. It's starting now, and only the strongest will claim the prizes." Ah Miao goes airborne, a furious pink streak, vowing payback against Chen Chang'an for a past slight, but he's trying to keep her head in the game for the Great Chaos Tournament. Still mid-air, she keeps up the attack, shrugging off the tournament as just some casual fun with nothing to lose. That kick lands with a serious, explosive impact. But just like that, Ah Miao is down, defeated and on the floor. Chen Chang'an is standing tall, the clear winner, his staff held like it's no big deal. Gasping for air, she can't believe she lost, while he just coolly tells her to stop being so reckless. Still totally ticked off, Miao swears she'll be back for round 2, but he just brushes her off with a smirk, like he's heard that a million times. The Heavenly Emperor, a legend who's never lost a fight, strikes fear into the hearts of many, making them duck out of competitions. He then gives Ah Miao a stern talking to about her wild ways, and the blonde woman next to him points out that not many female cultivators are brave enough to face him. Ah Miao, still whining about losing, wrestles with Chen Chang'an as he playfully grabs her head, demanding he release her hair. He's got her locked down, and she's absolutely losing it, screaming about how much she's had enough. She's absolutely fuming, asking why everyone else gets to live it up while she's stuck being a total target just because of her body, like she's some kind of sacrificial lamb. He just sighs, thinking she's such a pain and needs to chill out, then whoosh, she's airborne, screaming her head off. He's done with the games, announcing it's time to get serious and move, grumbling that she's way too full of herself and they gotta bounce. But hold up. A new player just entered the game, Jing Rumeng, the absolute boss of the Heavenly Sword sect, radiating pure, unadulterated power. She cuts straight to the chase, asking if he can even leave, her eyes burning with intensity. He's holding up an invitation card, totally shocked, because the competition's about to kick off and everyone's waiting for him. Bauer, all smiles now, declares they can totally snag first prize with just a little effort, and he's like, yeah, the Heavenly Emperor's tournament is definitely a sweet spot to rake in some cash. As they scope out the scene, he spots the heavenly demon Li Shao and that terrifying demonic figure, realizing this place is absolutely packed with heavy hitters. A blonde powerhouse, brimming with confidence, flexes on the competition. She's the top male god of the ghost state, and there's no way she's taking an L. Elsewhere, a red-haired dude with a sly grin watches the chaos unfold, totally chill with letting everyone else duke it out while he kicks back and enjoys the show. With all these big players showing their cards, Chen Chang'an gets seriously strategic, thinking, should I just take these two out right now? And even his system is shocked by the sheer audacity. A total powerhouse, this dark-haired warrior absolutely shreds through her enemies with a glowing sword, moving so fast they don't even stand a chance. Back in the fancy chamber, the crew is totally freaking out, with one shouting, no way, another screaming, oh no, and someone else just dropping, told ya. The chaos ramps up, someone's literally screaming, ich. Who's gonna stop me, ich, and then a quieter, but I don't want to get married. Chang'an just tsks at the whole situation, then casually asks his crew, seriously, you think these few can take me down? He keeps going, totally unimpressed, who's even rich enough for BRS Manhwa? These nobodies can't even compare. Then the red-haired woman jumps in, check out her soft skin and tender meat, seriously, you gotta respect your master. But Chang'an just fires back, your mouth is so tough, don't you know how to live? Hump. That little girl was the first time, so she was not the opponent of the opponent of the opponent. Suddenly, Chang'an unleashes a massive power-up, his hands blazing as he commands, hold Kunlun in both hands. Meanwhile, that dark-haired swordswoman is absolutely radiating power, engulfed in a blinding, golden aura. Jing Rumeng has had enough. She unleashes a devastating torrent of swirling water and ice, absolutely obliterating her opponents. Her raw power explodes outwards, freezing everything in its path. And then, the immense energy culminates in a massive, battlefield-shattering explosion. Back with the crew, Chen Chang'an and his companions are absolutely stunned, a mysterious glow pulsing from his hand as he takes it all in. Jing Rumeng, with an unyielding gaze, admits her opponent's power was unexpected, but her determination is absolute as she makes her bold declaration. She's won the martial arts tournament, and now she's claiming her prize, freedom to go to the visceral abyss, where Kunlun will pick her dual cultivation partner. Her eyes lock onto Chen Chang'an, and the tension is palpable. With absolute certainty, Jing Rumeng makes her choice known. And just like that, Chen Chang'an points a finger, sending the blonde woman flying backward in utter disbelief. He's locked onto that mysterious object, a sudden, shocking revelation hitting him hard, as some dude nearby just loses his mind in amazement. Still stunned from his last move, the blonde woman clears her throat, then drops a bombshell, he's perfect, and she's ready to marry him, right now. Both the blonde woman and Ling Baoer are absolutely floored, their jaws practically hitting the floor at the sheer audacity of the situation. Swarmed by a horde of hyped-up women, Chen Chang'an, looking totally resolute, swears he'll save them from these crazy witches. He lets out a massive phew. Later, chilling on a fancy bed, he's totally baffled, wondering how his life got so wild. He's checking the rules, and it turns out the Kunlun Martial Arts Tournament is a massive triennial event where the champ picks a dual cultivation partner from the visceral abyss, which is basically where all the strongest cultivators hang out. He throws his hands up, complaining that this tournament is a reality show, not some dating app, but his system just shrugs, noting his chill vibe and boosting his mana by 1,000 points. Over on their end, Jing Rumeng and the red-haired man are also checking out the intel, trying to figure out what's going on. They discover the Zhang family is a big deal in Kunlun, and their young master, Zhang Yinshi, is the reigning champ, having won 3 times straight, making him the star of the whole tournament. Chen Chang'an and his crew are on the move, heading straight for Kunlun Mountain, when they run into a whole squad of other cultivators, all hyped for the same tournament. On this epic road trip, Chen Chang'an is soaking up all the intel he can get about the Kunlun Martial Arts Tournament from these new allies. And here's the kicker, the tournament winner gets to pick a dual cultivation partner straight from the legendary Visceral Abyss. Talk about high stakes. Across the lands, Jing Rumeng is also deep diving into those tournament rules, her mind already racing about the Visceral Abyss, the ultimate hotspot for cultivators. She flashes back to a time she tried to protect someone, but it was too late, and then, her own dual cultivation partner got snatched by the Visceral Abyss, leaving her no choice. The red-haired man, another contender heading to Kunlun, is also grinding through the rulebook, because up until now, the Visceral Abyss was just a wild legend to him. Chen Chang'an is totally lost in thought, trying to figure out what this rule means for everyone, especially for Jiang Xianshi, whose future could be completely changed by it. The blonde woman, also pondering these crazy rules, can't help but wonder if the Visceral Abyss always picks the hottest woman on the planet as a partner, just as a system alert pops up, giving her a temporary mission, obtain the final score. Suddenly, Chen Chang'an gets bombarded with system alerts, all screaming, Kunlun mission. The winner of the tournament gets to pick a dual cultivation partner from the Visceral Abyss, with insane reputation points on the line, and he's left with a bewildered, as the system demands his acceptance. The system's message hit Chen Chang'an like a truck. Why was he always the one getting the raw deal, constantly thrown into danger while other traversers lived it up? He was furious about his physique, feeling like a sacrificial lamb, as the system kept dropping bombshells. He had to enter the Kunlun martial arts tournament, and the winner got to pick a dual cultivation partner from the visceral abyss. Night turned to day, and the next move was clear: wait for a specific girl to show up for a deep dive into the details. Just as the morning sun kissed the rooftops and a rooster crowed, signaling a new day. Chang'an was still reeling from the system's crazy demands, a cold dread washing over him as he figured out that girl could only be Jiang Xianxue, and she was about to be freed as a prisoner. He reached out, a desperate plea in his gesture, questioning if he was truly a hero or just a pawn, set up for sacrifice. Then, out of nowhere, Ling Bao and Jiang Xianxue showed up, finding him totally spaced out, with Bao shouting that he was finally back. Bao, waving a stop sign, was clearly trying to keep him from doing anything crazy, while Jiang Xianxue watched, totally worried. As he slowly snapped back, Bao immediately asked if he was okay. He brushed it off, saying he was just tired, but Jiang Xianxue chimed in, revealing he'd been out of it for ages. Bao then hit him with the real question: was he thinking about the Kunlun martial arts tournament? Chen Chang'an's eyes are practically spitting fire, a furious inner monologue screaming, "You average scrub. Mention my name again, and I'll make you regret everything." He slams his foot down, the very earth groaning in protest, ranting about how other traversers get to live it up, but he's stuck as a sacrificial lamb because of his body. He's fed up, wondering why everyone's so petty, trying to off him just for being a bit stronger, then decides he's too famished to even make it home and needs to find food. Suddenly, his gaze falls upon a colossal, ancient barrier, and he realizes it's about to shatter. Just as he's taking this in, a voice cuts through the air: "Why are you here?" Jing Rumeng, with the white-haired woman by her side, approaches him, revealing she heard he was hungry and came to personally invite him to her place. Chang'an thanks Jing Rumeng profusely, who then offers up the white-haired woman to go with him. Jing Rumeng isn't holding back. She's making it clear, if everyone else is bringing their people, she's bringing him, and no one's going to tell her otherwise. No time for arguments, she just tells him to follow her lead. On the move, Jing Rumeng tells Chen Chang'an to stick close, and after he gives the nod, she drops a bombshell: "Call me Mimi," all while the ancient fox demon casually follows. Next stop, a massive flying ship. They're cruising high above epic rock spires, making serious progress. Feast mode activated. The ancient fox demon, a total traverser and a legendary glutton, is absolutely demolishing her food, always hungry, with Chen Chang'an watching the spectacle. Jing Rumeng throws a casual question about last night, but Fu Chuan, the old man, is worried, muttering that the ancient fox demon is nowhere near Golden Core Peak and it's way too soon. Jing Rumeng and Chen Chang'an are side by side, and she casually drops a line, saying the husband and wife owe her big time. Jing Rumeng pushes the ancient fox demon, asking if she's still hung up on something, and the demon just gives a mysterious answer: "You'll get it eventually." Chen Chang'an is all about that cultivation grind, realizing this whole time was a golden chance to get his power back, and now his body is absolutely primed for some seriously powerful new spells. Jing Rumeng is not backing down. She's still pushing for him to call her Mimi, making it clear this isn't just a suggestion, it's a demand for their epic journey. They're soaring through the skies of the Xuanwu continent, a place of untold power and mystery. Chen Chang'an is still getting his bearings, but the ancient fox demon is already laying down the law: this adventure is just getting started, and there's no turning back. An old master is eyeing the ancient fox demon, worried she hasn't hit her Golden Core Peak yet. He knows this is a huge deal for her power-up, hinting at some serious backstory we're not privy to. But Jing Rumeng isn't having any of it. She shuts down the old man's concerns, declaring that the ancient fox demon is on her own timeline and will hit that Golden Core Peak when she's ready, no matter what. Then, she pivots back to Chen Chang'an, telling him to chill out. This whole journey is a gift, a chance to live it up, and he needs to stop stressing about old baggage. The ancient fox demon is soaking it all in, but you can see it in her eyes: there's still something she's holding on to, a secret desire that's keeping her from truly letting go. Chen Chang'an catches the vibe, and it hits him: he's just like the ancient fox demon, still clinging to his old life, unable to fully move on. Jing Rumeng, picking up on his deep thoughts, gives him a soft but firm reminder: the past is history, but the present is where new power and happiness are forged. And then, with a sly grin, Chen Chang'an finally gives in. He calls her Madam, a total power move that shows he's not just accepting her, he's owning their crazy new relationship. He's fighting back, a golden aura exploding from his arm as he clashes with an invisible enemy, but Jing Rumeng is already moving, ready to jump into the fray. But it's not enough. He's sent flying, a shocked gasp tearing from him as he loses control. But just before impact, Jing Rumeng is there in a flash, her hand glowing as she snatches him out of the air, saving him from a nasty landing. Meanwhile, in a dark corner of the world, Li Zhao's eyes burn with a terrifying red glow, his voice a chilling command to squeeze them dry. The Xuanwu continent's epic mountain ranges pierce the clouds, as a massive flying ship cuts through the sky. And then, a flash of red. The red-haired woman is a whirlwind of power, unleashing a devastating strike. Back on the ship, Chen Chang'an is deep in thought, complaining about the insane requirements for missions, as Jing Rumeng hangs on his every word. He keeps going, venting about the crazy system, and Jing Rumeng, ever the strategist, drops some serious wisdom on him, hinting at a solution. Still raging about his lot, Chen Chang'an can't believe his luck, screaming about how other traversers get to live it up while his body dooms him to be nothing but cannon fodder. Out of nowhere, a hand grazes her shoulder, and Jing Rumeng gasps, stumbling backward and plummeting. Grinning down at her with a sly look, he checks if she's okay, then immediately pivots to asking if she wants to do something fun. Her face twisting in pure fury, Jing Rumeng explodes, flat out refusing his offer with a fierce, "I won't do it with you." Utterly flabbergasted by her explosive response, Chen Chang'an is left scratching his head, thinking, that's not what I meant. Why is she so mad?